All right, guys, here we go. Back to LCS final week and LEC today. Good times. So, Monty, I'm watching the League of Legends World stream where they play through all of the worlds, starting with Season 1 on a loop. Yes, that is a fun stream. I pop in there from time to time. And they're up to Season 4 knockouts. TSM versus Samsung White. I don't think I've ever seen you look happier than you do in those post-game lobbies. Hell yeah, they got clapped. Dude, the Looper teleport into the bot lane was an all-time great. The trolling with the Thresh invade, also great. Hope these banger games are better than the Chinese tomato egg cooking. That was very good. That was and it went very well. So it's a high bar for these games to do better than that, really, when you think about it.
I've known him as a co-caster, and he's back on the casting desk. Please.
Oh, Spawn, great.
For Spawn
I'm excited. The Shy Guy, welcome back. What should you do if you're addicted to seaweed? Sea kelp. That's funny, the Shy Guy. I like that.
I didn't expect an intro like that. You've actually made me blush, Flowers.
This is the first time we've cast together in like 6 years, I think.
I think the last time we cast together as a trio, TL beat IG.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, boys.
Yeah, that was badass. I said all of 3 words because I was the LPL representative at the time.
Spirit Tracks NS. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Very generous of you. Not like the rest of you dirty freeloaders.
Well, in this one,
Be more like Spirit Tracks NS and the Shy Guy.
Position here for casting.
Okay.
And you can lay it on FlyQuest. Either coaching staff. They were kind of tight-lipped in your interview that you did.
2 frauds. Yeah, it is a fraud off.
With them.
Yeah.
This was a fraud off for sure, guys.
What I wanted to talk about is the fact that they both smacked
Instinct TBC. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Appreciated. Salute to you, sir.
The Lilia early on, the bans, Nidalee, Renekton, and Yone banned out by FlyQuest.
Yeah, this is a big time fraud off. Okay, so no Nidalee for Blabber, even though Blabber's Nidalee has been decidedly bid. No Renekton, even though C9 looks like shit when they play Renekton Nidalee. And no Yone for the JoJo. Okay, Aurora, Ezreal, and Callista banned. And we're just going to first pick Ashe here. Corky, Lilia.
The first pick, Ashe for FlyQuest, is the highest presence pick and ban champion.
Dude, this furry meta has got to go.
Yeah, but Cloud9
Aurora, Lilia.
Tank versus tank matchup. This week, it seems that they're happy to go carry versus carries. Jungle pretty much untouched apart from the Nidalee, which is very oppressive. So want to make sure that they have that aggressive pick here for Blabber.
And this is a huge discussion in the community, especially because Inspired has been kind of controversial. But him getting this label of CEO of full clear,
Tank Doom!
That's the reason why they want to put
07.
Blabber in this position.
Thank you for Twitch Prime sub. Why no G2 versus Mad today? That will be tomorrow. Very lol. Because I haven't seen these games yet. We're doing them sequentially.
Sort of strategy where it's pretty free.
I was more mad that 100 Frauds won their last match. It's all right. They probably won't be a team for much longer, so we can look forward to that.
So I think that it's something that the LCS also likes to fight at the moment. So take the better skirmish jungler here. What's more interesting to me is the fact that FlyQuest hasn't responded with a jungle pick of their own. They're happy to take stronger lanes and make sure that maybe Inspired can get on one of those more full clear heavy junglers.
And I mean, it kind of makes sense. You've got
All right, so we're early picking the Lucian here for
Lilia to impact the Corky's lane matchup all that much.
well, we're early picking for the mid lane, so we're definitely going AP jungle, which is why C9's going to ban AP junglers, and they banned Sion?
Like a Cassante, Camilla's always been really good into that.
I guess they don't want any Sion cheese possibility.
Cassante very strong, and I know versus.
Are we playing Talia? I guess we're playing Talia jungle for Inspired.
Interested to see what FlyQuest
Kind of a fringe meta pickup.
Flex for Cloud9, or whether they're just going to give it back to the Berserker.
Yeah, so far this is kind of
And just a Cassante in top side. Blind Cassante, R5 is not, wow, what a not inspiring R5, but it works. I mean, pretty standard front to back team fighting for FlyQuest. Seems
strength.
pretty
I
normal
would expect Cloud9 to feel
on both sides.
my team.
The thing about C9's composition is their engage is a bit more gated. Like, you actually have to set up a sleep or be Mega Gnar, right? Or flash in and ult if you're Vulcan, whereas, you know, they can fish more easily for engages with Leona and Ashe ultimates here.
I'm giving
Yeah,
impact
draft
to
is not
something,
very
which
interesting,
is
guys.
what I always do. However, I will say that
Pretty
Cloud9
meta,
really has drafted
pretty
towards
standard.
their strengths. I would expect Cloud9 to feel very comfortable going into this game.
Berserker on Zeri, Jojo on Korg. What's your prediction, Spawn?
I went with FlyQuest before the games. In seeing the draft, I do think this one is going to be the one that Cloud9 picks up. I think that just firepower in every role, plus a very
Needing to stop, especially get done.
as it should be
Face the
yes, they're very
versus the Talia.
How many people are actually in this
Inspire
studio?
being the CEO of the full clear. How much will he be able to get done?
Who's this?
What season is it right now? Big season.
We're gonna 2-0 them very easily.
He kind of like stole my whole flow.
It's just silhouettes.
his early game. I'm just not sure FlyQuest fans would want all of the early game pressure to be on Masu and Busio to blow open the game through bottom lane.
So much playmaking there, so much setup for a Talia to visit and get a seismic shove as well back. I investigated this.
Time for me to eat
of
my
CEO of
Chipotle
Full
chicken,
Clear
salsa,
Inspired,
cheese,
because
avocado
I've
bowl.
always thought of Blabber
Delicious.
as being one of our most efficient junglers as far as the LCS goes. And in fact, he is only one camp behind on average to Inspired as far as the total full clear numbers do go. Oh, dang. That was... Can we go back to that first one and we explain those numbers first real quick? That was a little quick on the swap. There we go. Okay, so while they do both have number 1 and number 2 in full clear potential, notice that Blabber actually has a lot more aggressive stats in his CS difference. So more counter jungling from him and slightly more K plus A as well. So it does kind of feed into the story of
It's cool that they Photoshop their heads onto suits.
Inspired, really good at power
Oh,
clearing,
because
but
it's
doesn't put
I
as
guess
much
it's
pressure on
CEO.
the
They're wearing
enemies.
suits. I get it.
We'll catch up on the current.
It looks
game
really
state here,
fake, though.
Thanatos has been creeping, and there's a ward right there, so quad should be fine.
Yeah, and it's going to be another lane swap coming out against Cloud9, so it looks like other teams in the LCS thinking this can be a way to shut them down. Thanatos going to cross into the bottom lane here.
I
so
mean,
not
I think
trying
it's
to get
pretty
any
silly for them to
experience
FlyQuest
against
to
the
lane
Leona.
swap.
That makes sense to me. Now the choice becomes up to FlyQuest. How do
Considering
want
they
to
probably win that
swap
lane
this
early on.
back into the bottom lane and try and get Bwipo some experience, or are they going to just be happy to trade each side of the map?
Yeah, looks like Thanatos is going to make his way down here right now. Unfortunately, the life of the top laner in the lane swap, you just sort of decide how you want to lollygag, where you want to sort of pass the time. Let's see what we've got from Blabber, though. Just continuing to clear through the jungle so far, as this wave is starting to get primed up pretty far. Busio will show up to make sure that Bwipo is not going to get forced away from this.
All right. They're going to try, soak up as much experience for Bwipo as they can, and Thanatos is out. He'll do the same on the other side since they've revealed Busio is here. No threat of the big dive on the other side, so happy to soak as well.
Yeah, and now jungle is both on the correct side of Summoner's Rift to help with the turret dive if they want to go for it. You know, +1 in both areas. A Lily is going to be down bottom. It's a 3v2. In saying that, I don't think you can dive a Leona plus Cassante. Meanwhile, top side, Nah is just going to grab level 3 here quite easily and start building that Mega Gnar buff for his bounce back. So also probably pretty safe. Looks like a standard, boring lane swap game.
Just another day swapping lanes. Somewhere out there, Emily Rand is loving
Whoever created this lane swap meta in NA, very disappointed in them. Very, very disappointed in them.
You would have done such a thing.
You, not 6 minutes ago, we're talking about how much action we can create with lane swaps. Are you disappointed in these two teams with the non-action lane swaps where you had the
This is
supports
actually
go to
really
defend?
cool. Masu's going to go for a base. They're holding the freeze, hoping that Vulcan and Berserker feel pressure to crash this lane. They
Bwipo
don't,
actually has
because
TP
otherwise there
advantage,
could have been
though.
a skirmish here. There's not going to be one, but there could have been. There was a potential, guys.
There
Potential
almost
for
was
violence.
action in our lane swap. We got to be careful to avoid that.
And I do like the little wards that they had. They just had the ward inside lane down here that wasn't actually taken out by the control ward. Exactly. Thank you, observers. It was right there, and it was outside the vision of the control ward. Always nice to have that extra little bit of info. As far as the farming does go here toward Mid lane though, it has actually been quite good for JoJo.
Yeah.
Starting out, and there is the answer teleport coming from Quad. The further investigation of the junglers, by the way, I did not stop at full clears. Jungle proximity is always really fun, and it's always really interesting in talking about where they go. Look at this. Now, let me remind you, this is an 8-team league.
Yeah,
and we've got a ninth place jungle mid proximity in an 8-team league. That is how little he goes mid and has played around mid this split.
He can't talk to Quad, so he's just not going mid ever.
And so he's even got less mid jungle proximity than Tomio there.
And that's what I was saying on the desk. To me, it's more
I like how Inspired is 6th, 9th, and 8th. He's not even he's not even top 50% of the league in any of the proximity stats. He's just not ganking. Just doesn't gank.
Does Inspired's job in the early game, whereas it is a lot of C9 going through this mid lane with Blabber, with Vulcan. Dash in.
Ooh, piercing light. JoJo tries.
More than
Oh my
does
god.
Inspired's job in the early game, whereas it is a lot of C9 going through this mid lane with Blabber, with Vulcan. Dash in.
Ooh, piercing light. JoJo tries to flash it, but the light.
That is a wet fart of a play from JoJo.
This mid lane with Blabber, with Vulcan. Dash in.
Ooh, piercing light. JoJo tries to flash it, but the light slinger gets his shot. Quad gets first blood in the series.
Don't need no jungler. He'll do it himself. Quad again, impressing.
Dude, I love him trying to take this extended trade versus Illusion.
Got less mid jungle proximity.
Where is his Foss bomb?
And that's what I was saying on the desk. To me, it's more that Quad does Inspired's job in the early game, whereas it is a lot of C9 going through this mid lane with Blabber, with Vulcan. Dash in.
Ooh, piercing light. JoJo tries to flash it, but the light slinger gets his shot. Quad gets first blood in the series.
Don't need no jungler.
Yeah, I didn't have Foss bomb.
Quad again, impressing. My goodness, Flash is now also traded in mid lane, so you would definitely expect some further pressure.
Free push and recall though with no punish.
Solid player here. He knows how the matchup should go. JoJo's on his side of the lane, dashes forward over the queue, so he's going to win the damage
misses
trade
Foss
here.
bomb because of his dash.
JoJo just turns around and tries to extend the trade.
He has no gat either now.
Able to take him out.
Yeah, that is really disrespectful from JoJo there. Not paying attention for the short cooldowns for Lucian, being able to go back in second round, flash for flash, takes him down, and this is maybe one of the reasons why he was actually very complimentary of Quad.
Yeah. I mean, you can see right there the quote on your screen. When I verse Quad, I can feel like his movement and his laning, and I'm sure JoJo.
I think it's they swap back top. So FlyQuest swap back top side in order to cover Talia taking grubs, but they're losing plates in the bot side. So C9 actually getting a little bit of an advantage here. We'll see if they can take some plates in response.
Because they've been able to pick up the first 3 grubs, and I said this, playing against Cloud9 when they have grubs and they can pull that full core press on you is very, very obnoxious. However, taking that away now, denying some more farm away from this Gnar. If you want an under-farm champion in the game, it's K'Sante. K'Sante versus Gnar with 0 resources. K'Sante's going to win every single time. So credit to FlyQuest on their game plan right now. Even though I didn't think their draft was going to be meant for a lane swap, they have done a very good job of it.
And they also, sometimes you play to the players. Whippo has been really outspoken about thinking that Thanatos not very good at those lane swaps or playing with the team. Whippo himself is going to.
I do think it's a good read. Like I agree with the fact that the K'Sante is going to do more on lower resources, but they did miss out the chance to bully the bot lane and shut down this area early, which is problematic. But if they believe that Thanatos is really disconnected from the team, which I agree with, then it makes sense to do a lane swap because you think you're just going to get incremental advantages potentially.
Easy enough for Whipple to walk that one off as Quad puts a lot of bullets into JoJo here yet again.
Arrows coming, I see it on the mini-map, but does not hit JoJo.
If that would have hit, that would have been a 0-2 Corki.
And I honestly think that FlyQuest get another massive win here. So much of Lilia's early game power is based around her ultimate. To be able to live the first ultimate from Lilia, and now you can see 10 CS starting to stack up here as Inspired took the full topside jungle as well. This is looking like a game that Cloud9 are actually falling a little bit behind it.
Yeah, it seemed like a little bit of a rush on that play, like maybe thinking Mom was closer and could have followed.
That's crazy. FlyQuest barely got the additional gold for first turret.
First turret kill. It was FlyQuest by a fraction of a second getting the first turret credit. They're in the top lane while Cloud9 took the tier 1.
Watching Whippo and Busio today was so painful, man, as opposed to other days. Whippo has been really not good this split. Why are we watching the same thing twice?
So Lilia ult is down, so you might. However, I would not be surprised to see this Ashe just go bottom lane and try and take some more.
Like if Whippo starts to fall behind, he thinks he has to be Superman and just carry the game, so he just chain ins.
Yeah, next
He like can't
Arrow
just
cooldown,
do his
trying to
job.
look
He's
for
like the
another
anti-Keen.
Cloud9, of course, with Corki and
Just
Barry,
doing your
who
job?
have,
Challenge?
quite good
Impossible.
Opportunities later on into the game, so we'll see how much money they can actually get on them as they pull their swap now, with JoJo being up on top side.
Really dangerous phase of the game for JoJo. He's just gone onto the weak side of the map. We know that there's vision all in the top side of C9's jungle, and he doesn't have flash available. So wouldn't be surprised if he slow pushes this wave and maybe even pulls Vulcan into his lane to get him to be able to crash this.
Yeah, we're looking at the minimap right now of Vulcan trying to retake that vision. Every time you have the lane swap with those towers going down opposite
Look at this,
sides.
he can't get the wave in. He's just losing CS right now. It's only the little things in League of Legends, but JoJo would be very uncomfortable on this side of the map because I don't know whether they know where Inspired is.
Honestly, too, with Vulcan having level 6 right now, that gets a little bit more defensible. He's trying to hover around behind him. They're still scared of the Leona ult that could come through. JoJo, I guarantee he's got his finger on the Valkyrie right now, just waiting to see if there is any sort of surprise.
And
everybody's coming up.
Everyone is drawn to this top side of the map to try and crash this wave. You can even see that Thanatos, who had a lot of pressure on that bottom side, look at Whippo's condition, has had to recall. They want these grubs very badly.
Here we go. 30 seconds on the grubs coming up. Whippo does not have
Whippo no
teleport,
TP.
So FlyQuest, keep your eyes on Whippo. If he starts
They probably give this up. Talia's really shit at doing grubs, guys. Talia's really garbage at doing grubs.
Buy some items fresh.
Because, like, in order to get rid of all the little, like, void mites, you have to use your E, and that leaves you very, very vulnerable.
Only the single solo kill in mid lane. 10 seconds until
And she's very slow at doing the grubs, too.
Spawns. Remember that FlyQuest got all 3 of that first rotation. C9, all 5 players ready to stand and try to contest for this. The battle for vision is how we're going to start.
Whippo, there's a slow push in bot side. He bases.
FlyQuest only needs to secure one of these if they want to be able to spawn the...
Talia takes a lot of damage from grubs, too.
But right now they've got total control over the entire set.
I guess they use Smite on one.
Take the opportunity to try to crash the wave in
all right, I guess they just get him.
Instead, as all 6 grubs go.
That's crazy, they got him.
This controller right there does so much work. It allows Busio and Whippo to just push them all the way off the grubs. They get their grubs. And yeah, Cloud9 try and push on mid lane, but get almost nothing out of this.
And I want to talk about why Cloud9 didn't fight there, because it does look peculiar to be in the zone. But on the side lanes, FlyQuest were actually losing CS, and Cloud9 needed to catch. If you lose that team fight, and both of those creep wave side lane die to the turrets, your game is pretty much over just based on experience. So Cloud9 make the smart choice. They say, we need to catch our sides. Let's just deny a little bit of CS, go up a little bit of gold, a little bit of experience, but give over the 6 grubs.
We'll see how powerful that buff ends up being here, because FlyQuest definitely have a lot of map control with Ashe arrows and Talia wall. A lot of pick potential here on the side of FlyQuest.
Looking at items coming through, at the moment, Quad has picked up his Blade of the Ruined King. This is the area that Corki starts to really struggle. He's pretty much full tank Corki right now. He's got the Phage, he's got himself boots too, but in the 1v1, he does not want to go anywhere near Lucian at the moment.
Second Drake has spawned. Remember that Cloud9 secured that first one, and they've got total control over the bottom side river here for number 2. Looks like FlyQuest has no interest in contesting this one. To pressure the enemy turrets, to take over the rift. I want to see how well FlyQuest can use these 6 grubs that they've earned to put that pressure the other way.
Yeah, but unfortunately, just not all things are created equal, because the Lucian will have some pressure, but as you can see, C9 very happy to play towards JoJo's side of the matchup, and K'Sante is never hitting a turret versus Nah. You're never hitting mid turret against Static Shiv, Zeri, so I just don't think the grubs are as useful.
I like what they are trying to do here, but they are going to get chased out of the jungle. The idea there for FlyQuest, use Quad's advantage in pushing on top side to invade that jungle, take away a little bit, and now he's going to swap to the bottom side so they can rush down some turret plate money here.
So this is the difference though. C9 too aggressive in the top side on that retake, willing to use flashes, and Quad already got his wave out. Now he just teleports bot. this is when the grubs are going to be hugely impactful in the game.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Some value from the early grub priority of FlyQuest, and you've already seen 2 plates get knocked off of this tier 1 turbine in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they got the
gonna send a little bit of
they got the
manpower down
void,
that
the
direction
6
now
stack
as the
on the
raid
void
flashes.
grabs
There's
really
your one
early.
short for FlyQuest
They're going
hit.
straight.
So they're actually having
right now.
they're
This
actually
game
able to
has been
get
all
quite a few
about
plates with this
quad so
potentially.
far. Him getting the solo kill onto JoJo.
Am I gonna
him
watch
getting
G2
the
versus
first item
MDK
power
tomorrow?
spike, pushing out these side waves, getting these little advantages for FlyQuest.
I will do that
Looks
tomorrow.
like FlyQuest actually are going to to drop some minions on
That's a
top
5
tower,
gamer,
but
so
Thanatos was just
that'll
able to
take
push in.
like
Whipple's
my
a
entire
little bit slow
stream.
getting there, and that's
So
one area
I
that
will.
Cloud9 do have an
I'm gonna
advantage
do
is,
this
Thanatos
one
with the extra
and the
level
Fnatic
here on
BDS
the
series
Gnar
today. I'll do the other one
over
tomorrow.
Whippo. We'll see if that ends up being a really big thing. Thanatos is going for the Trinity Force build for the Gnar.
And I wonder, you know, when people say, if you could be a celebrity for a day, who would you want to be? I wonder if mid lane LCS has ever asked yourself, if I could be JoJo Pyun for a day, how would it be? I get escorted to every side wave. I get looked after in laning phase. Vulcan comes and gives me every single ward.
They didn't look after him well enough. He died 1v1.
And I'm sure he will have a stern talking to the support members of C9 for letting that happen. But this guy, he is so well looked after, and it makes sense because he's on Corki. His pick can carry this game if they get him to that 2-3 item power spike.
Meanwhile, let me remind you, the looking after that quad gets is 9th jungle proximity.
Teleport away from my pushing lane.
Exactly. In an 8-team league, like he really does exert a lot of pressure, especially in this game. So see if FlyQuest finally can get their pick, though. That's the one thing that I've really been looking for to be the linchpin here with this composition. You've got Ashe, Leona, and Talia. Like, that should definitely be the makings of a pick. They've done a good job getting some of these outer towers down.
Wow.
I love this hard push.
Nicely done. They're going to take out the tier 1 turret. Blabber gets a nice sleep there, and Masu's got to be careful. JoJo coming in from the side, and Whippo drops. FlyQuest in full retreat as Inspired throws out the wall to buy them a little bit of extra time. FlyQuest might have got the objective, but they lose their top laner in trade as C9 responds.
Yeah, but hashtag worth because they got the Herald at the same time, and the fact that they broke mid lane tier 1 without having to use Herald is a huge win right now for FlyQuest. Again, you just get Whippo falling down. He's a tank. He's the one that's behind. Doesn't even use a flash. They got a cleanse out, and now Lilia doesn't have flash or ult for this third dragon fight, which I feel like Cloud9 have to win to be able to win this game.
Hashtag worth. What happened to the Jake that I know?
I love Papa Smithy, but not getting a single LCS titles in 2 years, considering the massive amount of resources he has been given, is a bad look. He's not in charge of that. He,
Inspired. Sidestep
like,
away from the bowling ball here.
first off,
Immediate slam into the wall from
he's not the GM of the team. Second off, even if he was, like, do we fault him for the roster that was put together last year? No, it was pretty good. Like, I think this roster on paper is pretty good as well. Like, the underperformance of the roster last year was shameful, but I don't think that was on him.
Whippo makes his entry into the fight to lock up a couple of targets, but it ain't gonna matter because Quad's gonna be killed first as Whippo picks up one. But FlyQuest is losing more men. Masu approaching from the side.
They also fired the GM that put that team together last year.
Still trying to get himself away from this one, firing back a couple of rocks as the calling from Quad will take the health bars low. Whippo makes his entry into the fight to lock up a couple of targets.
Why is Whippo going in on this? What the fuck is they're just walking in one by one? Busio's inting. Busio just inted. What the fuck is this fight?
Berserker shooting back, trying to find the zap, but it ain't gonna land. Masu still wants to be the hero in this moment, but it's so damn hard. Another
They wait for shield to come back up, and then they go back in.
Masu solo on HP. Berserker's trying to take him down.
Oh, he's dead eventually, probably.
That one's not gonna hit either. Berserker and Cloud9 still chasing after the enemy AD carry. Masu's escape route will be blocked.
Waste of TP, but whatever. Like, what the fuck is FlyQuest doing? Let's look at this.
Let's see about this play for Blabber. He has no.
Okay, so Inspired is literally on a ward.
What happened to the Jake that I know? That's the spawn that I know. Oh man.
So he's literally on a ward.
Honestly, let's see about this.
He has no ult. And they walk onto him. He gets hit by Mega. They commit TP.
Oh my goodness.
And Berserker and Vulcan are just there, and they're going all in, and they actually just literally don't have Ashe Arrow at the start of this play, so they can't affect this play whatsoever. Masu plays as well. Dude, Masu is actually, I think, legit good. But why are we going in on this if we're Busio? Masu has arrow again. The arrow comes up right there. His spacing, Masu's spacing is super good here.
Masu still wants to be the hero in this moment, but it's so damn hard. Another shield goes up. The Unbreakable might just do it. Masu solo on HP.
God, his spacing is so good.
But that one's not going to hit either. Berserker and Cloud9 still chasing after the enemy AD carry. Masu's escape route will be blocked. Berserker goes on a killing spree, and an extended bloodbath in top lane favors Cloud9.
Yeah, that one was not #worth for FlyQuest. A really good move from Cloud9. They all go topside, teleport up here, and even with this start to it, it actually looked like they were going to get a good jump, but if you look at the bot lane's movement up the river, the early arrival of the Cloud9 duo there.
It literally is just man advantage the whole time for Cloud9. And FlyQuest didn't have Ashe Arrow to throw in to buy time for Ashe and Leona to get there.
And that's what I was going to say. It's actually very hard to dive.
Masu's been quietly carrying FlyQuest all year. I mean, especially except when he ints them. He also just ints in the lane sometimes and puts them in massive holes, and then they lose. So he also has been a reason they've lost a lot of games.
Yeah, Cloud9's already got it down to about 2,000 HP.
They could have just walked away after both TPs came in. Of course they could have.
In the heat of the moment, he can't spell a damn word, but it's the heart.
If they don't engage in that tri-brush, they just collapse on Berserker with Busio and Masu.
Back a couple of rocks as the calling from Quad will take the health bars low. Whipple makes his entry into the fight to lock.
Yes, that's true. They could have if they don't walk into tri-brush, they actually can just go into river from both sides and collapse onto Berserker and Vulcan.
Targets, but it ain't gonna matter because Quad's gonna be killed first as Whipple picks up one. But FlyQuest is losing more men. Masu approaching from the side, but it's a 2v4 for FlyQuest. They put themselves.
What a super janky call from FlyQuest. Well, they were winning this game, and then they just decided they were gonna lose. Very cool.
Masu still wants to be the hero in this moment, but it's so damn hard. Another shield goes up. The Unbreakable might just do it. Even with this start to it, it actually looked like they were going to get a good jump, but if you look at the bot lane's movement up the river, the early arrival of the Cloud9 duo there just changes the whole story. And then by the time that Masu and Busio do get there, they're valiantly fighting, but too much has already been lost.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's actually very hard to dive into this C9 comp. And I think that Whippo and Quad just went a little bit too aggressive. Given the fact that C9's bottom lane was going to arrive first, with that kill now means that this dragon fight probably cannot be contested.
Yeah, Cloud9's already got it down to about 2,000 HP. Jojo.
Cloud Soul with Zeri. That sounds pretty good.
In the heat of the moment, he can't spell a damn word, but it's the heart that counts.
Same with Lilia. Cloud Soul and Lilia. Cloud Soul and Zeri. Pretty darn good.
Words of Huhi. Sometimes Berserker will get a random triple and then you just lose the game to Cloud9. Berserker getting money is not a good thing for FlyQuest. 3 kills on this Zeri. 2-item power spike for him with the advantage.
Yeah, he's definitely really strong right now. And I think that actually what Jojo was talking about is the fact that Inspired doesn't have a Rift Herald. So he killed the Rift Herald, but he doesn't have a Rift Herald. So I'm confused where he's wrong right now.
Where'd it go?
Inspired.
Doesn't even use a flash.
Throws out the wall.
Yeah, like that should definitely be the makings of a pick. They've done a good job getting.
Did you just not pick it up?
Towers down.
Wow.
I love this hard push.
Nicely done.
He left the Herald Eye there. He literally just left it there. It's sitting there.
From the side, and Whippo drops. FlyQuest in full retreat as Inspired throws out the wall to buy them a little bit of extra time.
How hard is it to make bibimbap? Very easy. Just a lot of slicing vegetables.
Jojo's talking his split.
Maybe I'll do a cooking stream on it. 406 lol. What do you think about that?
Berserker will get a random triple and then you just lose the game to Cloud9. Berserker getting money is not a good thing for FlyQuest. 3 kills on this Zeri. 2-item power spike for him with the advantage.
Yeah, he's definitely really strong right now. And I think that actually what Jojo was talking about is the fact that Inspired doesn't have a Rift Herald. So he killed the Rift Herald, but he doesn't have a Rift Herald. So I'm confused where his Rift Herald is as well.
Yeah,
Is it just on the floor?
So it either burn a hole in his pocket.
I'll probably never
or
be
it
able
was
to catch
left
a
on the
cooking
floor
stream
and never
live.
picked up in the first place.
Because I said
That's
the
fine.
advantage of Whippo dying for that mid-tier 1 is now you could use it to push 2 bottom turrets. But if you don't have the Herald, Kobe, you can't push the 2 bottom turrets.
Sometimes, you know, you kill the Herald and then you forget about the eyeball on the ground.
Yeah, it's just you get all caught up in the play, you get excited. A couple of things tend to slip past, but FlyQuest was feeling really good about the early game for a really long time, but then finally, after a very, very quiet game in terms of kills for the first 15 minutes, C9 is now feeling way better. They are on Soul Point. They are up 1,000 gold.
And they're the ones with Corki plus Zeri for later.
Yeah.
Like that is the warmest, snuggliest blanket that you can have.
I will only watch a cooking stream if you put butter on the outside of the grilled cheese. Why do you want me to make bad food?
Having Dragon Soul Point, as you're saying, because they were the ones getting the bottom side objectives. When FlyQuest were getting those Void Grubs, Cloud9 stacking up the Dragons. This definitely seems to be like they will have the ability to draw FlyQuest to them, which is very, very bad for FlyQuest. Not very good to face check a Braum team. Not very good.
Oh, here's the replay. Yeah, he literally just pieces out and leaves the eye there. I just went back and
He
checked
left it
that.
on the ground.
There's our investigation.
I didn't need that anyway, he says. And what I think that
He
Kobe's
did that
concerned
because he
about
was
is,
trying to rush to
again,
the play that was
when
happening in mid because
Lucian
his team was
on his run out of
overextended
fight,
and he
was
used
the
wall,
strongest
but
member on the map.
it's
You
pretty
needed to
bad.
play around him, but you needed to win
I mean, at least he
fights
got the goal, I
around
guess.
And then C9 took 2 fights, and they won both fights. So now you have to say the scaling is well and truly online. If this Corki gets Muramana, then it just becomes very difficult to even play the 1v1 in the side lane. I do think that
How to
Cloud9
grill
has
cheese?
very much regained control of this game.
Also,
Put
when
a thin
FlyQuest
layer of
find
mayonnaise
themselves
on the
having
outside
to
part of the
face check around
bread,
these
put the butter on the
dragons, they're gonna
inside,
eat rocket
cook
after
on low.
rocket after rocket. You get poked out. You don't have a lot of time, so they're going to have to be very quick with their Leona ultimate and Ash Arrow and just immediately full send go. But then you're full sending into a team with Braum, so
Braum Lilia.
definitely
Very difficult to send into that team, I will say.
at this point it is just
Why
like,
mayo
from the
outside and
team
butter
fight that you
inside?
chose,
Just do it.
becomes pretty difficult here, and that's why you're emphasizing the opportunities.
It
that
doesn't
you really
taste like
need to
mayo.
take a little bit earlier in the
It doesn't
game.
taste like
Because
mayo. It
even
doesn't
Kalia,
matter if
she's
you
got
like mayo or
Global
not.
Ultimate, she wants to make the map
Doesn't
big.
taste
That's why
like
having
mayo.
6 Void Grubs on
Also,
the
not
FlyQuest side
liking
is
mayo is such an
important. That's what we were
insane
expecting
take.
to see, a lot of side lane
It's
skirmishes.
fucking
However, Cloud9
eggs,
have made this
oil,
now
and like a
about
little
the
bit of
objective.
lemon
They've
juice.
got
How could you
themselves to the
possibly
point.
dislike
So
that?
now FlyQuest do have to come and fight eventually.
And look what FlyQuest have been doing now. They have Busio hovering quads so they can push out the wave on top side and still.
Yes,
try and
Mayo
get
does
that
have a
one
higher
pushing
smoke
one.
point because
So
it
then you
does.
get a
It
little,
uses
30
like,
seconds
you know,
movement
it
timer
uses a
here,
higher smoke point
to
oil a
look
lot
and
of the
sniff
time.
around, see if they can
I
get
use
anything
I use
with
an
their
avocado oil
possible pick
mayo.
combination. But good defensive warding from Cloud9 and Cloud9 not overextending. This Ash Arrow feels like a very, very long reach there.
What kind
It's
of
like-
bread is best? I mean, whatever you like.
That's a Hail Mary. That's a hope and a
I use whole wheat bread.
I'm being nice, but that's a cleanse flash Zeri, who has her own movement too. Like,
Yeah, and with the arrow flying over the creep waves, that has more chance of hitting flowers on the caster desk than it does in hitting Berserker on mid lane wave.
It's pretty hopeful.
Cade
They're not gonna
Kaiden.
find
Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you.
anything
Sourdough
from
and
it.
cheddar?
Meanwhile,
Sounds
the bottom
great.
side, that tier 1 will
There's lots
finally
of
be
great
taken
ways to
out.
make
So FlyQuest,
grilled
they do have
cheeses.
an advantage in terms of turrets, right? 3-1 as for what
The only mayo I enjoy these days is our mayo. Boo! You don't. Nobody enjoys our mayo.
taken by Cloud9, but it's under 60 seconds now
They're on
this
vision
Drake.
yeah,
C9.
this could be it. This could be the trap.
Yeah, they're
Here we
going
go.
after Bwippo. He's going to try to survive it as long as he can. He flashes away, surviving with 50 HP. Bwippo lives through it critically.
But FlyQuest don't actually get a good, counterplay off that. There's no trap or anything. The damage has been done. Blippo's basically out of the fight, and Blabber was close enough to be able to follow. So Cloud9, their damage was quick enough and focused enough that even with the
Velveeta
extra
is a must. Get
information
out! Get out! No!
from the ward, here we Blippo's basically out of the fight, and Blabber was
Super
close enough
sharp
to be able
cheddar.
to follow. So Cloud9, their damage was quick enough and focused enough that even with the extra information from the ward, here
Vulcan
we go.
just gonna face check a brush with a million dudes in it.
Bad spot. He got caught. A little bit more
Blabber.
damage will finish him off as Busio gets the kill credit. And now Blabber will be eliminated by Bwippo's all out. C9 scrambling to try to bring the fight back as Master puts a couple more arrows into Thanatos. Bwippo finish him off as Busio gets the kill credit. And now Blabber will be
Extra information from the
What
ward.
happens
Here
to
we go.
Inspired
Vulcan
here?
not done yet because Vulcan's in a bad spot. He
Blabber just flashes on top of him hits him with ult. He goes to sleep, and then Corky shoots a big one at him with Foss Bomb and a boomerang, and he just dies. It's actually kind of a troll play by Blabber. Look at this.
Cloud9, their damage was quick enough and focused enough that even with the extra information from the ward, here we go, though, Vulcan.
Blabber just flashes into the man bush. He does get a 3-man sleep, though, so...
Scrambling to try to bring the fight back.
That's funny.
Monster puts a couple more arrows into Thanatos. Bwipo's going to continue his retreat. He wants to keep running all the way back down into the bottom lane, but surely with no flash, this will be the end of the Cassante.
Why did Bwipo ult? Was that necessary?
This could be it. This could be the trap.
Yeah, they're going after Bwipo in terms of turrets, right? 3-1.
Damage has been done. Bwipo's basically out of the fight, and Blabber was close enough to be able to follow. So
he got caught. A little bit more damage to finish him off as Boostio gets the kill.
I don't know about Bwipo using ult here. It separates him from the team.
Scrambling to try to bring the fight back as Monster puts a couple more arrows into Thanatos. Bwipo's going to continue his retreat. He wants to keep running all the way back down into the
That was actually a hilariously effective play by Blabber, though.
This will be the end of the Cassante. One last wallop into a rocket from JoJo gets it done. Both junglers are
looking up for some of my meal prep for work this week. This week, homemade healthier cheeseburger macaroni. Are you making it with cottage cheese? That's actually the hack, is to just like puree cottage cheese into sauces.
Actually will be meaningful.
And you can actually see the desperation starting to come out from FlyQuest, because this is the perfect start to the fight. It's going to be a face check from the Braum, who is supposed to absorb all of the damage, and he goes down pretty much immediately. However, there is just so much X factor on this C9 comp. You can see that Blabber gets in, gets a 3-person sleep. Berserker
why is Bwipo like going in and then just walking around in a circle?
Yeah, JoJo going.
He literally is trying to like zone Berserker out, but Berserker just auto spaces him, and he actually doesn't do anything.
Just chase down Bwipo. This time they'll be able to get him. Then they get the rewards.
Low fat cottage cheese has great macros. I just don't like the taste. That's why you blend it into a sauce. That's why you take the cottage cheese and you blend it into something smooth, like a smooth sauce, and you add like cheese to it, and it makes a good sauce. I like cottage cheese, so it's not a big deal for me, but you basically can replace cream or milk and sauces with it. How do you know so much about food? Fucking good at cooking.
Now retreating away from the culling as Quad provides an escape route for the FlyQuest players.
And that's pretty much another 4v5. Blabber's just in his jungle, like hitting his red buff the whole time that's happening. You can.
I did a bunch of healthier style recipes like deviled egg chicken salad, but replaced the mayo with sour cream. I mean, sour cream is not great for you. You should replace it with Greek yogurt.
That FlyQuest believe that if they don't win the game right now on these item spikes, that they are just going to get outscaled.
Yep, gets worse and worse.
Susie hates cottage cheese.
Seem like they're giving anything up.
It's true, she does.
JoJo still has flash.
I can't get cottage cheese here, Susie. Please don't replace anything with it. You wouldn't even know, Susie. You blend it so it's smooth.
One thing in particular I like,
and I can't get cottage cheese in Korea anyway, so don't worry about it.
Was he baited you a lot. When he was playing the Zeri and he had his flash up, he would play so aggressively, drawing your
cheesecake is trash. Cheesecake is trash. There's tons of good cheesecake out there.
Offensive use of the flash in the way that he was able to bait people in, thinking that they would be able to kill him. Now I feel like Cloud9 are in that position again, where he and Berserker can just play so aggressively with the freedom of their extra escapes.
I couldn't agree more. I think that right now, with the fact that they've both got Flash and Cleanse up, and they are so strong that you have to hit them back, otherwise you automatically lose, they can very much suck you into a fight. And that's where Braum, that's where Lilia are going to start to shine.
Aren't a lot of Asians lactose intolerant? Yes.
He's just going to run over the side lane. Like,
their constitutions are fragile.
Right now for FlyQuest, although Bwipo goes all out.
Yeah, Bwipo's gonna try this fight. He's got Inspired coming in to help him. The arrow from Masu from all the way away does not.
Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2 are great. Boo! They are not. Stop abusing the word great.
Not hit its mark, and considering
at they are mid at best. I don't think they're very good.
And they are so strong that you have to hit them back, otherwise you automatically
okay,
lose.
So we have no TP on our top laner. Baron has spawned. FlyQuest is taking blue. Jojopian is splitting. And they clear this. Okay, Bwipo's all-inning. And then they Talia wall bot when they have no... Look at this. They Talia wall bot their jungler away when they have no TP on the top laner. And I have no TP here. This is truly a choice. Thanatos has TP up, by the way.
From all the way away does not hit its mark. And considering the
what the fuck is that?
Considering the jungler and the ulti from the AD carry of FlyQuest were sent bottom lane. It's C9 onto the Baron. It's got 4,000 HP left. Busio, Quad, and Masu coming in trying to fight these guys away from it. Vulcan nearly dies, but he gets back to safety.
Thanatos is even able to TP in. What the fuck? Just leave.
Busio's low, but the rest of FlyQuest might still be looking for something. They won't find a thing. C9 gets the Baron, and they get everybody out alive.
That's that desperation you see in action. They're like, oh man, we're not going to be able to face check. We're not going to be able to fight them straight up. Just send everything. Try and get a pick on the side lane.
Wait, really? No, that's just fucking troll, dude.
And they also lose the Baron. The worst of
when
both
was this
worlds.
series?
Honestly, FlyQuest
today.
Probably already starting to think about the next game in this series.
Absolutely agree. And I think that this is such a crucial game for Cloud9 to win, because people have been saying they're just the early game team. They run over you with their gold lead, but the early game didn't go great for Cloud9 this time around. However, they've really battened down the hatches and scaled.
It's a good Baron, what can you say? I mean, it's an easy Baron call, but
every aggressive play that FlyQuest have thrown at them, they've just looked like the better team in this game one.
And I mean, we talk a lot about these Cloud9 early game leads and how up against you guys, it was the first time we didn't see them run away with a huge one early on. The gold this game has been so close for the entirety of these first 25 minutes. I do believe this is the first time we've even seen the difference break 2,000 one way or the other. But Cloud9 does feel so firmly in control right now. Jojo, again, nice sidestep, just getting out of the way of the arrows. Feels like Masu has not got a whole lot of payoff from these so far.
Yeah, you can see how quickly Berserker now races towards that bottom lane. They know that with the top lane pushing, someone has to answer it from FlyQuest. So right now, C9 can play bottom side of the map and really break open the game. A pick here could actually be GG.
C9 is not afraid to see if they can find it. They're placing down the vision. They're grouping up for this bottom lane push. Berserker's got all the firepower in the world, and the whole crew is ready to back him up. Tier 2 turret falls here in the bottom lane. That is the 4th turret taken this game for Cloud9. They are finally ahead of FlyQuest in that count.
And gentlemen, a massive amount of restraint shown from Cloud9, because I think they're stronger. It looked like FlyQuest were challenging them.
Kind of not Cloud9 beat them the cleanse, and so now Jojo all
yeah, we're just closing this game slowly with Baron buff.
You can see the dragon, the elder spawning in under check into.
And just look how solid they are. This is why they didn't go for the aggressive fight. They want their summoners available for the elder. Now they teleport onto the map so far away from your base with an objective spawning. But so many Fed members on Cloud9 could just end it here.
All right, pressure under the tier 3 turret in mid. Arrow flies through. That one's finally going to connect. But what does it even mean? It doesn't give them anything.
Thanatos has looked much better, you know, with the rest of his team.
Inspired starting it up, but
this
it's not
game.
like the thing's taking any meaningful damage here just yet. FlyQuest are going to call it off and scatter a little bit as C9
yes, the desperation elder.
Man unit. Blabber is now going to engage the Drake himself as FlyQuest are still looking for an angle. They know they can't allow the elder to go over. Busio the target here for the engage. He's just going to get destroyed
right in the
by
bussy.
Berserker. C9 with a 5v4 as Inspired is isolated from the rest of the team, and Bwipo's trying to make some space for him. The elder's not even the focus anymore as Bwipo tries to escape.
Yep.
Inspired's wall won't do a whole lot. As Quad
good ult, even though it's only on one player, keeps them all there. Force Inspired's flash, okay, they're all dead.
And Berserker is unstoppable. A double kill for the Zeri. It's about to be
yeah, Cloud Soul Zeri. What could possibly go wrong?
Run from it. Berserker Zeri arrives all the same, and he's bringing the whole Cloud9 party wagon with him.
That's going to be a C9 dub in game number 1 here.
Way that they're
I think we will be
terrible game from FlyQuest. What a terrible decision on the bot side. Holy moly.
After we came back.
The quest was a fraud.
24. Spawn's coming back for another game. We decided he did such a damn good job in the first game.
It was fun to listen to Spawn. All right, so same sides, same bands.
C9 keeping Aurora off the rift alongside the Ezra.
Same bands were okay. I guess B1 Lilia is just so fucking OP, guys. All right, taking Lucian again, of course, into the Corki, and we're gonna take the Nautilus, so we actually have lockdown into the Zeri.
that.
He was
However,
together.
Okay, huge brand. So huge damage already selected by C9.
Just didn't
pick, because if you ban
Taking
Renekton,
out
he
Leona
won't pick them up.
Casante. Okay.
One
So taking the
even
Braum
wider
into...
to go for.
What?
Rakan and Nautilus. So Nautilus is going somewhere else.
Is that top Nautilus? Has to be, right? Jungle Lilia, mid Lucian. Could it be bot Lucian, I guess, and mid Nautilus? But why would you pick mid Nautilus into Corki?
Yeah.
Nautilus could be a... Oh, wait. Rakan also technically... Do you know the AP mid
AP
Rakans?
mid Rakan, solo cute
That is
cheese, some classic mozzarella.
That was a thing. I don't think it's a...
Okay. What the fuck are they doing?
particular... Okay, with the Neela. Wait, are we going to get some weird Neela cheese
Yeah,
stuff?
we're going to get Neela cheese. We're getting like a tri-lane or something.
Yeah, there's also even been something... So there is a Neela plus Lee Sin is the primary, partner for the super cheese.
Oh, I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, that came up where you jump into the base and then you go level 1 proxy. There's no Lee Sin here, so we're probably not getting that, but like maybe there's some tricky stuff with Rakan. They could also do some jumping around.
Is this a tri-lane?
Level 1 proxy. I remember seeing that in a Challenger solo queue game.
All right, so Neela into Zeri Braum.
For the side of FlyQuest, they're going to run back the...
I mean, they have no range. Like, the problem here, guys, is they have no range. And yes, the Nautilus is good into Zeri because you can hit Zeri with ults, but basically, like, if you try to get in, they have 0 range. And their engage isn't that good. You either have to get a sleep off or like a nod hook. I guess maybe you get Rakan into Neela, but it feels like the kiting potential here is just crazy from C9. And if they try and engage, like Brand just ults and they all die because they're all clumped up, and then Orange just ults and they all die. Like, this feels like such a good game to play Brand in, because as soon as they go, I mean, it doesn't matter if Brand dies or not. He just one combos them all.
Since it was picked away from him, and Thanatos, it's not Gnar. It's not Gnar.
It isn't. I'm surprised.
It's not particularly exciting. It's an orange.
Hey, man, it's not Gnar.
All right, so top lane Nautilus, and we get a Neela lane on bottom side as well. Now, Neela can definitely punish a Zeri Braum. I feel like these are double counter.
How do you ever kill Corki or Zeri, really? Like, somebody's gonna... The thing is that even if you get a big combo up, like, you're not gonna hit the back line because of the really big Braum Ornn front line, and then how do you kill the carries? The carries will just clean up. You just kite and clean up.
Was summer of 2017. 7 years
Neela dodge
ago.
means Braum can't proc his
That
pass.
was
That's
my
interesting.
first year as a professional caster. You were still a caster then.
Do you know how you know we're old, though? Because he says 2017, I'm like, that's not that long ago. What do you mean?
That's
Only 7 years?
That's an entirely different timeline, man.
Spawn had a few less tattoos then, and a few less gray hairs as well, probably.
Just a little bit more hair in general, actually.
I wasn't going to go there, but...
Man, I still probably had mulch in my shoes from back in Ohio. That was so long ago.
We've got some good party pictures from then as well.
Those were good. There were good times back in 2017.
What is this top? I don't understand what this top lane Nautilus is supposed to do. Like, Nautilus is good into Zeri.
With the top lane Nautilus. However, they had picked the one answer into the top lane Nautilus.
Grasp?
The top lane Nautilus can now probably just lane.
Yeah. Why try hard draft in regular season? Oh, the band.
No response.
Okay, Neela's coming out to the top side, so it is like Neela is kind of playing with 2 supports right now.
Yeah.
That's what I will say. So I would expect this Neela to kind of ping-pong around the map and try and get as much experience as possible.
Okay, so just Neela, super carry, main character energy. They want to treat her the same way that C9 treats JoJo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So remember that if they want to...
So they can lane swap this, though. You can lane swap tri-lane. Like, it has to be... This game has to be a lane swap, right? Because you're going to use Neela passive to try and give you advantages.
Don't get the extra experience, but... she's got a very complicated passive. Sometimes people don't feel like reading the entire
So
thing.
invade
It
on
also has
strong
that
side.
Increased effectiveness of healing and shielding on it, but just going to be the lane swap here with full 4 on the top side. So Thanatos does have to worry about the possible classic early push into dive, and Blippo wants to make sure he's going to stick around for it.
See, Thanatos going to face check. He's in dive range right now, so even though Inspired only picked up 3 camps, this could just be
Okay, this is a second wave
Yeah, this
dive.
is more classic lane swap.
All right, bowling ball not going to find the initial target there. Thanatos
Very
does
clean,
as much as he
actually.
can to buffer through the CC
Very
for Bellow's
clean.
breath, but it won't matter. FlyQuest gets their dive.
In Blippo's interview earlier,
Very clean, good engage by Busio.
Last week, he was specifically talking about Thanatos and some of the cracks that he saw in Cloud9 emerging from them coordinating with him. And if you do go for these lane swaps once again, then it puts more pressure on that coordination. And this time around,
Not top sounds awful in a lane swap. I'm not sure that's true. He's good at diving, and he can't be dove himself very easily. And it is good in this area.
And they can teleport back. So you've got to cancel a couple of times, give it the mind game, and they're going to try and retake their bottom side. However, this can be risky because Brand is still on the bottom side of the map. Thanatos has now made his way down here, so he's already died once. You know, potentially can look to turret dive here, die a second time for the quick
Thanatos
recall and
can
get back up
TP
as
top,
long as
though.
this dive is successful.
Yeah, let's see. His teleport is available. Here comes Nila Rakan, both level 3 afterwards.
He left.
A nice look at that.
Yeah, he
ward
left because there was a
against-
huge wave.
Yeah, let's see.
His way down here, so he's
There's
already
like
died once.
a wave and a half in
Potentially can look
topside.
to turret dive here,
And
die a
as soon
second
as
time
he
for the
sees
quick
them, he
recall and get
knows
back up
that
top.
they're
As
not
long
going
as
to
this
have the
dive is
duo lane up
successful.
there, so he can safely
let's
collect this
see.
wave.
Teleport is
I think this is the right call for
available.
Thanatos.
Here comes Nila Rakan, both level 3 afterwards.
He left.
A nice look at that ward again. And Thanatos does not want to die. He was just going to go straight for the teleport up to the top minions.
Okay, so you can see that Blabber didn't want to come. He was on his wolf camp. He's saying, I'm not going to give up my camps to come down and 4v2 dive this. I don't know whether it's a right call because now Thanatos is just going to have to teleport back up top without any items. So if there was ever a time for the top
Oh, he's
lane
Ornn,
was to
though.
win the 1v1,
You can just make
it could be
items.
right now.
The time is now with his big ruby crystals and boots.
Huge. He's also got a potion and a cookie.
I, for one, am going to be more excited about the Nila plus Rakan matchup on bottom side than I am about the Nautilus plus Ornn matchup on the other side of the map, because I really feel like Masu and Busio can be the stars of this game for FlyQuest. They've got a large pushing wave coming down, and since both junglers actually see each other on the top side, the bot lanes know that they've got the freedom.
And this is why Lucian plus
Can we get my
Lilia is
expertise
pretty
on coffee? What about it?
because Lucian was able to force out the Corki from lane. That guaranteed the push.
When I was in the States, I had a trade coffee subscription at drinktrade.com.
He's going to be probably
I had a Bonavita drips, a pretty nice drip coffee machine, and a conical burr grinder.
And let's see too, because he's going to.
I like coffee. I'm serious enough I'm serious enough about it to have a drink trade subscription and a nice drip machine and a conical burr grinder, but I'm not like super nerdy about it. I'm mid to tier nerdy.
Most of them.
So here we go, level 5 going to tick over for Inspired. See whether he does path back towards that top side and try and get him. Oh, he doesn't have level 5. This is the issue with jungle. Can I let you a little bit of a secret? You need to start yoinking a little bit of laner experience, guys.
Don't worry, don't
I'm well
worry.
versed in that.
It's just a cheeky, I'm going to cross and help you push your lane.
Yeah.
Plus 6 experience, you know?
Just enough to hit those breakpoints.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I turret dove for you. Now I'm going to help you push your wave again.
Yep.
Don't worry. The cannon minion's tanky, but we're going to make sure this crashes.
Correct.
That's jungling 101, helping the team.
I would say, though, you should not steal it away from Quad. Quad is probably your best player for FlyQuest, I would say, or at least.
Do I use clarified butter in cooking much? I use ghee for like curries and Indian dishes. In my butter chicken cooking stream / Masoor dal, I use ghee.
Trying to chunk JoJo again.
Got a culling. No mana, though, I don't think.
It definitely has been better for JoJo this time around. Of course, you know, he did not give the first blood over with the flash exchange with Quad. And so has been significantly better this time. Meanwhile, it is going to be avoid grubs on spawn for Inspired. Easily pick up here with Lilia. Blabber's pretty far away, so I would imagine Blabber's going to just go cross map here instead.
But can he actually get the dragon this time around? Because bottom lane is shoving in so hard. JoJo's on
Even Crab.
300
Do I put
HP.
creamer in my coffee? No, hell no. Black.
He has smite, so he should be able to smite.
Crab is.
Yeah, immediately Busio forces Blabber to flash away there with a grand entrance. Vulcan and Berserker finally making their way up. The Crab is low, and it is secured by FlyQuest. Crab denied.
Masu and Busio. Masu has just been so impressive as a rookie.
Double
Even
call
as an
on the
individual
bot
player,
side.
Take off the qualifier of as a rookie.
The voice says that there's going to be fire drills in this coming hour, so there might be alarms, but don't worry, it's not a real fire.
Oh, okay, thank you, Susie.
But if you hear an alarm, that's what it is.
All right, if I hear an alarm in the apartment building, it is not a real fire, guys. This is how I die, by the way, when it is actually a real fire.
Got the Neela plus Rakan with Busio, and now that they're both level 6, you have huge playmaking potential. So actual meaningful steal of the Crab and burning Blabber's flash, big advantages.
Is mid matchup supposed to be like this? JoJo is perma 1 HP. I mean, the Lucian crushes the Corki in mid.
He's just taken the third Raptors. He's about to take a red buff if he wants to. Whippo, stop fighting so I can get my jungle camps, please.
Nope, Whippo's not going to stop.
Just running the jungle.
What is he doing?
Well,
Whippo, please, man.
Yeah, Whippo's running something else. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful than he's being right about now as the sleep. Oh!
What? Thanatos flashed? Oh, he body blocked it. It's okay. Blabber's going to kill him. What the fuck is Whippo doing?
Nope, Whippo's not going to stop.
Just running the jungle CS race. Well, Whippo, please, man.
Yeah, Whippo.
About to take a red buff.
Steal of the Crab and burning Blabber's
So he
flash.
tanks that whole wave.
Big advantages from the bottom lane.
Jungle advantage, though. He's just taken the third Raptors. He's about to take a red buff if he wants to. Whippo, stop fighting so I can get my jungle camps, please.
Nope, Whippo's not going to stop.
Just running the jungle CS race.
Well,
Whippo, please, man.
Yeah, Whippo's running something else. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful than he's being right about now as the sleep stops him in his tracks. Thanatos needs a little bit more damage, but he doesn't find it just yet. Blabber makes his way to the top side here to cook him. Whippo's sins are punished. Thanatos does not die. FlyQuest now might lose their jungler as well. JoJo coming in to try to cut him off, but Quad can cover his escape.
Do you feel more sorry for Inspired because Blippo?
Dude, Inspired gets trolled so hard either by his bot lane or by Blippo like every game. This guy's life is an actual fucking nightmare.
Probably the fans, because I always feel for the fans, but man, I just don't know what was happening there. That looked like Inspired was about to go up 2 jungle camps in Blabber's jungle on a reset, and then just be able to clear 6 camps in his own jungle.
Yeah.
However, now has to burn his flash, his ultimate, and they didn't even win the skirmish. This is just a disaster.
Yeah.
Spawn is scandalized by this macro play.
Too hard. And as you said, it pulls Inspired off of the red buff that was basically his, and then dies as Blabber had come over. So really rough stuff there for FlyQuest.
What did he say? Did he say my bad?
Really rough stuff there for FlyQuest.
He said my bad, I'm pretty sure, at the end.
Nautilus. Top flop so far.
Yeah, not what Whippo needed to do. I understand
My Bonavita
trying
broke,
to
so I got a
bait
Mucka
but it
Master.
was just
Yeah, those
way
look
too
sick,
far.
dude. If I was gonna get another one, I would get that. They're apparently similar in terms of quality, but the Mucka Masters look really cool.
Like, why do you want to win more, man? Just let me carry the game on Lilia.
This is good. We're getting the Spawn coach talk. If
Yeah, actually,
Whippo
I need
was
to
on
calm down a little
Spawn's
bit.
team,
Not my team, not my team, not my problem.
Your mid laner tweeted earlier today he wanted to hear some spice out of you towards this game, the same way that you give him some
My
spice
bad,
in
I'm
the stream.
trolling.
I've got an idea for content.
Yeah,
now.
maybe.
We have a Whippo Spawn sit down.
Okay. Just a little bit of a polite.
Do you use slow
diplomatic
cookers?
discussion. Decisions made in the top
Typically
side
I just
jungle,
pressure cook
as
instead of slow cooking.
Thanatos is just going to have to eat this whole wave up here, make sure that he can soak all that EXP and gold.
Why
I will
wait?
say, though,
You know?
that Nautilus is destroying the top tower.
Yeah.
That top tower is looking, well...
And
wait
this
a second.
brand is going to destroy this Nautilus.
Oh no, he tries to dredge line away, but the Ornhorn combined with the brand damage is just cooking him, man. He smites him like a scuttle crab, and it's another kill. Go. Oh no, soak all that EXP and gold.
Will say though, that Nautilus is destroying the top tower. That top tower.
Look, but I know Nautilus is like a, you know, it looks like he should be a diver, but you don't actually need to be in river.
He tries to dredge line away, but the Ornhorn combined with the brand damage is just cooking him, man. He smites him like a scuttle crab, and it's another
Haven't
kill
tuned in a
going
while.
away
When
to
do you move
Blabber.
into your new house in
Yeah, I would say
Colorado?
that's a really nice kill to pick up.
Well,
Very
I don't
heavy
have a new
damage
house in
experience
Colorado
as well,
yet,
however, now being able
so
to pick up back-to-back
I don't know,
kills means
year,
he's actually regained control of that matchup.
maybe more.
And it looked like FlyQuest were just stronger in their lanes. It looked like, once again, this Lucian has got the push. Bottom lane is 2 levels up in experience as Masu's about to tick over to level 9. But just nothing has been able to be generated offensively by FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the bottom lane and for Quad. I feel like they definitely been putting out some good pressure. Meanwhile, Blabber here going to be a much more fed brand. That is now 2 kills that have been given over to Blabber by killing this Nautilus. So, yeah, put a...
Brand being fed is a huge problem as well, just because when you try and engage on this team and Brand chucks his ult down, and you're all clustered up, because they have to cluster up to engage, more or less, with Rakan, Neela, right? The Brand ult's going to do so much work.
Gentlemen, I've seen this show before. I've seen this episode. At least Whippo's going to get one back that time. Survived this one with barely any health and mana, but down in the bottom lane, gentlemen,
I think this explains the theory behind the Nautilus. Like, it's actually really unlucky the Ornn dies there. That was a very heated up turret.
Okay, this was actually a great play from FlyQuest, so I have been quite critical on them, but Neela takes turrets so quickly, very hard to dive the Nautilus.
Yeah, this is a good play. The Nautilus being in the solo lane, I think this makes sense because Naut is so hard to dive. But he doesn't have any armor, which is the problem. He has MR and a Bami Cinder and a tier. So he's actually not super tanky to this damage that's coming in from Berserker. It's actually crazy that Thanatos with his resists. Oh, I guess he doesn't have resist yet. He dies to that.
At least Whippo's going to get one back that time as Thanatos overstays underneath the tier 1 turret.
But it is that's a worthwhile trade. That's a death you don't actually care about. Crazy, Mr. BC. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
They get JoJo's flash. They get top tier 1. They're going to get top tier 2 most likely. 6 grubs, and they defend the bottom turret. I've been hating on them a lot, but FlyQuest just broke the game open.
Yeah, and definitely Masu.
Yeah, that's an excellent trade for FlyQuest.
Doing their part in this game, so we'll see how much they can build on it. Quad though now in a 2v1.
He's okay. He's going to run towards his Nautilus.
Getting a tier 2 gold, getting tier 2 gold on Damasu at 11 minutes in this game is great.
A 2v1.
He's okay. He's going to run towards his Nautilus.
Flashing away, but yeah, the TP ready to intercept this. Whippo and Quad.
Bubba doesn't get the immediate route, so the Valk comes out.
Easy pick up on the enemy mid laner, and now Whippo has to use the dredge line again to try to get some distance. Brand passive's going to explode, but it won't take Whippo down to an actual lethal range. So C9 get a pick on the enemy mid laner.
I think C9 is showing real macro progress at the right time. Yeah, they do look better. They do look better.
They've taken. They do have a gold lead, but it doesn't feel like it because Cloud9 keep chasing down the extra kills across the map here. And with the teleport coming in, JoJo securing another one, and this is worrisome.
But also, like, FlyQuest macro the last game was just self-inflicted injuries.
1-2 double blind of the Corki plus Zeri here. They once again have some kills on Berserker, on JoJo, on Blabber, on the correct positions here for them to really scale into the late game once again.
But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm going to say it again. They did get Blabber's flash before the Herald, so it should be worth. You know, that death on Quad, it's not a big deal. They got a flash out, they got a teleport out, and I don't feel like that actually altered the game state for FlyQuest. They still are very far ahead.
Well, we'll see, because Masu, the Neela, definitely can be a big engage as well. He's got... three on bottom.
The thing is, again, if FlyQuest engages, they just get brand ulted, so Cloud9's deficit is not, I think, that meaningful. Because FlyQuest still has to kill the backline. Busio's trolling.
Goes on through, still finds Whippo after the flash.
It's fine, it's a good trade. You trade flash on Not, you trade ult on
Rakan. I feel like they were stronger there. If they fight quickly, fight confidently, I think they can get a kill and get out. However, as you mentioned, they overstay, they go for the deeper vision, they get trapped. And Cloud9 are just playing this small map into small map style of gameplay that allows them to scale so effectively against FlyQuest right now.
Yeah, definitely. As long as they watch out for the big snap engages that they know are going to come. I mean, if you look
Look
at
at JoJo's
Moti
body again.
Musam, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate
how does
you.
he keep getting away with it, huh?
He's
Well-
got that Secret Service detail, man. Everybody has to protect Air Force JoJo.
Team game. It is a team game, and you want that Corki fed. We'll see, though. FlyQuest, again, they do have such amazing engage if they can actually coordinate to pull it off. I want to see the dream of the Rakan into Lilia Sleeps with Neela. Like, that's so much AoE there. But
And you
we'll see
might
if they
wonder
can get the
why
setup.
JoJo is swapping away from quad when he has the support on his side of the map. But sometimes it's just simple. Lots of red dots in top lane. I'm going top. No red dots in bottom lane. Tank, go into the lane with no red
You
dots.
go deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see now whether they actually set up to fight one of these dragons or whether the Rift Herald is going to draw teams towards them. It is 14 minutes. I feel like this objective being given over for free, not a big deal unless Inspired does pick up the eye this time.
That is a very important part of Herald. They say that you've always got to learn from your mistakes in the previous games in the series, and I think that's one that FlyQuest should be able to clean up here.
Flowers, I like that. Very coachable caster there
All right.
with that mindset.
The observer is with us, all right? Zoom
Okay.
in. Okay.
All
he
right.
picked it up.
She's got the eyeball. Rift Herald confirmed. Will they just drop it here in mid, or do they have the firepower to just...
Would it be
force this
wrong
tier
to
one
say
down without
that
it? Looks like they're
Bjergsen
gonna
would
just try.
struggle to
They'll
be
force
even
it
a top
without
10
the
mid of
buff,
all
give
time?
them
He's
so much
nowhere
extra
near
damage.
the
Tier
top
one
10.
turret down in the
Bjergsen
mid
would
lane.
struggle to be a
FlyQuest
top
gonna build that
20
gold
mid
up
of
a little
all
bit further.
time.
Does cost them the remnants of the bottom tower. That bottom tower is going down
Like,
anyway, but it does go into the hands of
Is he
JoJo,
even a
and it's
top
worse
25?
because
Is he even a
Corki,
top
again,
30
remember
mid?
how well Corki and Zeri scale. That is a Trinity Force done.
Been watching you
off of
since
that outer
season
tower
3-4
gold.
days. I've always been a favorite caster. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, and I
I'm
don't
glad I
think
catch
this
your
is
stream.
actually
I am
all
doing
that
well.
good
Thank you for
FlyQuest
coming
now, because
by,
they're saying they need
Modi
to use their
Musam.
power to
Appreciate
force
it.
Fight. So what I'm expecting them to see is to actually match into that bottom turret, ignore the Herald for a little bit.
You can look
force
forward
them
to
out,
cooking
hit the ground,
streams or
and
whatever
be
else I
able
end
to
up doing on
continue
here.
to farm without this flash being available. If you're not going to punish the summoner spell advantages you
What
get,
is the
then
most
you may as well
overrated
not
thing
have
people
had the
say they love
advantage
about
in
it?
the first place.
K-pop.
So whilst they're
That
getting
is
even,
some
I do
garbage.
feel like this favors Cloud9 again. I feel like FlyQuest, they really need to push the pace of the game.
We're going to fight this for sure. FlyQuest are teleporting
They
in.
have to.
They are definitely going to force.
But what happens
The women, if you want the there's a hot take for you. The
if
women.
C9 just don't
There's
come to
so
the
much
party? What happens
plastic
if JoJo
surgery
just
here,
teleports
dude. It's
from top right
ridiculous.
now? Just give it.
Oh, they are
Like,
staying.
the girls all get plastic surgery to look
I
the same.
like
It's fucking
the
weird.
spiciness here. Wards in the river, control ward. They're sitting on it here. Vulcan hoping they would get a little opening with a little bit of a face check, but nobody from FlyQuest actually gives them that. Now it becomes a little bit more dicey for Cloud9.
Yeah, I just don't fight this if I'm C9. You have a teleport, go to the top lane. Like, who cares? Just keep scaling.
Well, we'll see here in a moment. That moment of truth is closing in pretty quickly. Ornhorn is summoned. Thanatos knocks a couple of them up into the air. Busio
Very, very cool. You can never engage with this composition because you're just outranged. Masu walks in, gets poked. We walk into a choke point, get mega knocked up, get hit by an extendo beam, and we die.
C9 might go to sleep, but it's just gonna be a cat nap. They're feeling fine. They wake right back up and head back over to the Drake. Nobody
Free
from
Drake.
FlyQuest is willing to fight anymore after that one. They're just lucky to get out alive.
I want to examine the call from Cloud9 because there was a double stacked wave. That
Do men
Quad
also
was
get surgery?
crashing on bottom
Yes.
turret. So they know we have a couple of seconds here.
Why is Masu the one stepping in? But medic.
Yeah, I just don't fight this if I'm C9.
The
You have a
Neela
teleport,
clears
go
the
to top lane.
wards?
Like,
God.
who cares? Just keep scaling.
Aren't you like a really good support player? Don't you know that your ADC is the one who clears the wards?
We'll see here in a moment.
Masu has to whip the fucking pink, dude. That sounds like whip the pink sounds like a shocking
Moment of truth is closing in
sentence.
pretty quickly. Ornhorn
that's quite the euphemism. Masu steps forward.
Like, who cares?
Gotta
Just keep
whip the
scaling.
pink.
Well, we'll see here in a moment. That moment of truth is closing in pretty quickly. Ornhorn is summoned. Thanatos knocks a couple of them up into the air. Busio barely getting away back over the wall as Masu also has to scatter. C9 might go to sleep, but it's just gonna be a cat nap. They're feeling fine. They wake right back up and head back over to the Drake. Nobody from FlyQuest is willing to fight anymore after that one. They're just lucky to get out alive.
I want to examine the call from Cloud9 because there was a double stacked wave that Quad was crashing on bottom turret. So they know we have a couple of seconds here
Yeah.
where where Quad is
Castro
at
on this
the turret
game was
with the big
handsome and
wave.
smart.
If
You
we
did
can
great,
force it
Spawn. I
now,
miss
then we've got
listening
the
to
numbers
you.
advantage on FlyQuest, and they've got the engaged, massive engage with the Ornn coming through. So nicely done. The little timing window called by Cloud9 here.
And I love the positivity because you're saying, I want to hear how Cloud9 is decisive. I want to know what the heck FlyQuest is doing retaking Banana Rush when you're bottom lane.
Did you like watching this play? Did you like Neela just whipping a ward
Every single summoner spell, they lose the fight
and then
again,
just
and I think
walking
they should
into
win
a
because
choke
Brand is
against
still
Ornn and Corki?
flashless. I think the FlyQuest just do not look like they're on the same page.
Look at that focus onto Masu, resulting in him having to use everything to leave. They wanted to be able to use this Neela on the offensive when he had barrier, when he had flash to go with a huge combo engage. But because they were split, as you're saying, not on the same page, Cloud9 take advantage. They get Dragon number 2. They keep their stacking going.
Speaking of number 2, the second item fully completed now for Masu. Only champion in the game to have that done here with the Bloodthirster plus Navori. The Neela is very strong if they can ever have a fight the way they want it, but they're just not making it happen.
Spawn, do you know what
But I
this
will say, I
Nautilus
really
was
like
supposed
the
to do in this
flick-and-play
game? Was it supposed to just be a lane swap into like
very
hard
fun
to
to
dive?
use.
Because we didn't
It's
see
very
any
fun to
kind
use,
of
reducing
Neela
your cooldown
cheese.
so,
Like the lane swap was
effectively there.
necessary, but I thought we might
Does make it
see
very squishy, so
like
it's,
tri-lane
kinda
Nina,
hard on some,
like
on
lane
a lot
swap
of the
tri-lane
frontline
Neela
champions, even though the
cheese,
volley barrier is quite hilarious
or
to
at
watch,
least
but,
the Nautilus
very
standing under
good,
a turret being
on
hard
a
to
lot of
kill.
these DPS champs.
I just feel like the old Navori was like.
I have no idea about the
champions
I thought it was
and
tri-lane, yeah.
completely useless on everyone else, and now
weird.
Flicker Blades can just be fun on everything, like infinite hawk shots on Ash. Like it's a cool item.
It is a very cool item. Shout out to Freak, I guess, because we attribute,
Good job, Freak.
We attribute everything about the design of League of Legends or balance to Freak.
Well, if that's the case, he's got a lot of elves in his column at the moment with the rest of the item rework. But the Flicker Blade one, quite all right.
We like Navori. It's a good item. All right, C9, they're still down about 2,000 gold. They are up the 2 Drakes. 3 minutes still until that next Drake spawns. Baron's only a minute away, but I don't think either team is really going to put themselves in a spot where the other could easily rush it at this point. Things are
You
going
looked
still
way different. No,
pretty
you
slow
didn't.
Overall, only
What
6
do you
kills on
mean
the
you
board.
looked way different?
Well,
You look
honestly,
the
I
same,
think Cloud9 are
man.
kind of happy with this pace and the way that the early game went. And it's weird saying that, even though you're looking at the scoreboard and you're thinking 2,000 gold for FlyQuest.
Pull up 2 photos.
nice
You got
advantage
you're
for them,
thicker
but
now,
Circa?
but in a
second, he's
pleasing
just
way.
Waiting around, watching here as Thanatos
You
will
don't
be able to
look
finish up
old.
his push. It's kind of sentry ward there. Weird to see the Zeri spending time doing it, but honestly, Berserker should be able to get back mid and pick up all those minions before it gets to the tower. Still gets to eat up.
Yep. Easy peasy. Zeri is so safe around terrain. The ability to just skate back over the wall, not have to worry about any sort of punish. As the Rift Herald is finally summoned up here in the top side. This is not the ideal summoning for the Herald. Highly unlikely to get any value out of that. You just had to use it. So, I mean, they picked up the eyeball. That's progress from game number 1. The Herald not going to see a
Sometimes
whole
Shelly
lot.
just pops out too, you know, when the timer's up.
She just shows up. All right, well, she showed
Bye,
up,
Spawn.
she had
Enjoy
15 minutes of
yeah,
not
enjoy
fame,
the
and
thrilling
she
end
died
of
in
this
top
game.
lane.
That is
Another
ominous.
game for
When
Shelly.
Spawn tells me to enjoy the thrilling end of an
Quad
LCS game,
immediately
I am
opening up the
disturbed.
calling, and Thanatos makes his way into the fight, but now he's eating a lot of bullets from Quad. Thanatos wants to get the Ornhorn here for the part 2. Quad's trying to stand and fight. Quad immediately opening up with the calling as Thanatos makes his way into the fight, but now he's eating a lot of bullets from Quad. Thanatos
Ooh,
wants
gets
to
a
get
double
the
knockup.
Ornhorn
That's
here
smooth.
for the
Oh,
part
that's
2.
smooth.
Quad's
That's some
trying to
smooth
stand and
orning
fight,
right there.
but he's not
He's still
gonna
dead,
drop
but it
just
looked
yet.
good.
Quad is reinforced by the rest of the team, and Masu
He played that very well.
I've seen enough hit Baron. This game is going very downhill quickly. That was nearly a 2v4 that C9 nearly traded 1-for-1. I feel like FlyQuest need to get a motor on in this game because they are getting rapidly outscaled.
All right, I guess they're looking towards 50 seconds at the Dragon, and so they are resetting now after that kill. That was a flash blown from Thanatos for a flash from Quad. So although the assassin tank Ornn did not actually assassinate the Lucian there, getting that flash off of Quad might be very beneficial for this Dragon fight that's about to come up.
Yeah, I definitely think it will be. And just juxtapose game 1.
Look at how
and
well
2.
Thanatos
This
plays
time,
this
FlyQuest
knock
is
up. Look at that angle
first to rotate. So
into
I'm
double
expecting them to
knock
get
up.
at
Flash
least
nearly
2
gets the
kills
kill.
here and be able
Woo!
to have pressure on the map. However, C9 just bail out of it. They give up 1
It's not a
kill,
very
get the flag
sexy
off the
Ornn
mid
play.
laner, and now, because they're so healthy in the other roles, they secure the fact
Ship
that
it to
FlyQuest can't
Ornn
push
Hub.
more.
So
Just about cutting
sexy.
your losses, making sure that you're not overextending to save already dead members.
5 seconds till that Drake spawns. If C9 gets it, it will be soul point for them. Worth noting as well, Bwipo is about to hit
But he
a
died.
pretty big
That's
power
my
spike.
fetish.
As soon as he evolves the Winter's approach into the Fimble Winter, he needs to get 6 more procs on the
I'm
item
into
in order to
Ornn
secure the
Snuff.
evolution. But FlyQuest is going for the sneak play instead. They want to start up the Baron and see if C9 detects it. Yes, they will. Ward over the wall, and FlyQuest has to back up.
It's pretty hard to do that play like just straight up because you have a lot of good checking tools.
All right, Dredge line doesn't hit. Vulcan's still here on the front line, throws up the Unbreakable. If FlyQuest would have
No, it was actually a good play by him.
I think we would
Very
have
good
had a
play.
pretty explosive engage, but since nothing lands, nothing happens. C9 back to their defensive positioning as Inspired will look to solo the Drake for FlyQuest, while the other 4 players just keep their eyes on Cloud9, keep them locked here in the mid lane.
Just watch how they try and contest this wave, though, because Brand in creep waves is very scary because of the bounce that can happen. See, FlyQuest just have to give up the wave completely. They are going to get themselves the Dragon. I don't think Cloud9 care at all, by the way. They're just so content scaling in this game.
And they move over. They will at least clear out this vision on Baron. FlyQuest, though. All right, they put a stop to the Dragon. Stacking here from Cloud9 at the very least. Some more time for this Zeri, for this Corki, though, to continue scaling on up. Muramana has already transformed, so the poke from Corki very real.
So what I will say is that the damage of Neela doesn't actually get outscaled. She does so much damage in the later stage of the game. However, you are playing a melee carry, right? And against 2 highly mobile threats that have cleanse and potentially a Q.
On the flash engaging thing for Neela is that when you are going in short range versus a Brand, you also expose yourself to a lot of this splash magic damage, which you tell FlyQuest can actually navigate their big team fight, because I don't think they're going to get a lot of chances at their big team fight. It puts a lot of pressure on the first big mid-game one that you go for.
Yeah, and I would also say Neela's passive advantages as she goes up in experience. However, when AD carries start catching mid lanes by themselves, that goes away as well. Potentially going to look for a fight here on this line brush. Jojo.
Yeah, Jojo steps up, but immediately backs right.
She goes up in
Bwipo?
experience. However, when AD carries start catching mid lanes by themselves, that goes away as well.
What?
Potentially going to look for a fight here on this line brush. Jojo.
What is Bwipo doing?
Yeah, Jojo steps up, but immediately backs
Dude,
right
Bwipo
away.
can be mind controlled into
Now
fucking
enduring the
anything, man.
firepower of the
Holy
entirety
shit.
of C9. He barely gets out. Horn used, knocks him up into the air, and Blabber's got the kill. 1-0 C9 so far as FlyQuest heads back to the safety of their turrets, and C9 are about to wipe those turrets off.
Why would he
map.
face check that?
Those plays from Jojo are why I love him.
Yep.
Dude, he baits it. Look at this, look at this. So they all pile into this brush.
Game one that you go for.
Yeah, and I would also say Neela's passive advantages as she goes up in experience. However, when AD
And they know Vulcan's in there because they just watched Vulcan go in here, and they're going to see Vulcan right here in just a second.
carries start catching.
But
mid lanes
Jojo just
by
baits
themselves, that
this
goes
by
away
like
as well.
quote, face
Potentially
checking,
gonna look for a fight
unquote,
here on this
banana
line,
brush.
Jojo.
And then he just sidesteps the bowling ball and then W's out. Remember, he has flash, so he's probably very safe. But why is Bwipo
Mid
pathing
lanes by
this way?
themselves, that goes away as well. Potentially going to look for a fight here on this line brush. Jojo.
Yeah,
Like,
Jojo steps
do
up,
they
but
think that
immediately
nobody's
backs right
there?
away. Bwipo now enduring the firepower of the entirety of C9. He barely gets out. Horn used, knocks him up into the air, and Blabber's got the kill. 1-0
Wow, they get
C9
absolutely
so far
mind
as
controlled there.
FlyQuest heads back to the safety of their turrets, and C9 are about to wipe those turrets off the map.
Those plays from Jojo are why I love him.
Yep.
He is so confident to bait you. He baited the whole rest of the team of FlyQuest. That's why Bwipo went in from the other side.
With the pink is something Tom Cruise would say in Magnolia. Yeah.
Beautiful shutdown coming out from Masu as Cloud9's War Machine has to slam the brakes. FlyQuest will at least get one back to hold on to their tier 2 turret.
Okay, so this is what I expected to see out of C9. They are the Explosives team, but you can see that FlyQuest actually catch
Explosives.
This is why they were
Spawn
more
invented a
reserved
new
in game
word.
number 1 in their closeout. In saying
It's
that,
explosive
Cloud9
and
does
delicious
trade
at the same
two
time.
flashes on the side of FlyQuest, so it is just going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but big shutdown going over to Masu. Now he picks up his Infinity Edge. Can do a lot of damage if he can get into these fights.
Yeah. Here's another look at it. So Jojo baited the whole rest of the team, and Braum Ultimate made sure. Wow, look at that delay. The Braum Ultimate made sure that everyone who got baited over to the other side could not go to Bwipo.
Oh, Jojo's in trouble.
Jojo might have got caught a little bit here, inspired at about half HP. Vulcan going to jump back over the wall to keep Jojo.
Wait, They're doing
Made sure that
Blabber's in
everyone who got
base.
baited over to the other side.
Blabber died. And they're doing Baron.
The explosion.
War Machine.
That's why Whipple went in from the other side.
Blabber flashed in.
They're trying to go for it.
Blabber.
I love him.
Yep.
He is so
Blabber
confident
trolls.
to bait you. He baited the whole rest of the team of FlyQuest. That's why
You really
Whipple
wanted
went
this
in from
ult?
the other side.
Blabber flashed in.
They're trying to go for it. Busio wanted the engage. Beautiful shutdown coming out from Mod.
So he flashes in, dies,
So JoJo baited the whole rest.
Might have got caught.
and then they start Baron while Blabber
A
is
little bit here. He's fired at
reviving.
about half HP. Vulcan going to jump back over the wall to keep JoJo protected. FlyQuest taking the opportunity, recognizing the damage on JoJo. They're going to start up the Baron, but they have to back away because now Quad is under pressure. JoJo's going to recall, but then he can rejoin the fight with the Unleashed Teleport, and that's exactly what he'll do. Berserker continuing to posture aggressively as C9 wants to get the wave shoved out. Now they're recognizing, hey, enemy mid laner is hurt, but Quad doesn't have a TP to go back and heal and immediately rejoin.
Yeah, I would love to see why there wasn't a flash expended to try and follow up on JoJo. Maybe Inspired just didn't think he had the damage, but that looked like it was an outright pick. And now we're in, again, a situation where C9 are just choking out the vision, making sure that FlyQuest have
choking
to walk
something.
into the brand damage.
Yep, one of the blue orbs used there. Cloud9 actually just waited out. They have another blue orb.
Hey,
Quad has
trouble.
Yeah, JoJo flies in for a little bit of damage onto
coming inside
Inspired, but now it's Whippo, who's again got a
Whippo's job is just using hooks to get out of
fights.
fights.
Cloud9 to overcommit to. Inspired is going to continue hopping back out of the jungle, but C9 with control over the top side river. Now they have to retreat and regroup.
Yeah, Quad went for red buff. Cloud9 tried to jump on them when Quad actually went down to the other.
Really bait your team, because in the past you could just go sneak it as an AD carry. Now it shows everywhere. You can see the mid lane contest happening again. Whippo caught.
Whippo's thrown up
Or hit
into the
Busio
air,
over the
but
wall.
immediately
Nice,
the
nice ult by
counter engage
Busio
comes
though.
out from FlyQuest. Cloud9's going to get caught in a wall, but nobody's killed off just yet. Blabber with
Here's the problem though, you're playing into that Brand ult. See the damage from the Brand ult? And that was when they didn't have Warn ult to counter engage.
but nobody on either side.
I'm not sure if FlyQuest is going to get a better engage than that right there.
Now it shows everywhere. You can see the mid lane contest happening again. Whippo caught.
Whippo's thrown up into the air, but immediately
I mean, Neela's just not there the whole time.
Cloud9's gonna get caught in a wall, but nobody's killed off just yet. Blabber with Thanatos getting themselves away. The firepower from C.
Caught.
Whippo's thrown up into the air, but immediately the counter engage comes out from FlyQuest. Cloud9's gonna get caught in a wall, but nobody's killed off just yet. Blabber with
Everywhere.
Where was the Neela ult?
Happening again. Whippo caught.
Whippo's thrown up into the air, but immediately the counter engage comes out from FlyQuest. Cloud9.
I think he only got Ornn with the Neela ult. Not ideal.
The firepower from C9 brings FlyQuest health bars low, but nobody on either side has
Neela only caught Ornn with the Neela ult. Neela wasn't there at the start of the fight.
Could look for a pop-off angle here. That zap will not connect through the wall on anybody. And for how explosive it was, gentlemen, everybody walks away.
And as you can see, walking into the Braum brand is quite dangerous, but no one dies. That means they're going to reset. Another dragon coming up. You can see, again, FlyQuest, they don't want the dragon. They know they have to force around the Baron.
Another key too, now no barrier on Masu, so the Neela has no summoners, while Berserker Zeri has every...
This is cheeky.
They want to pick him in...
Picking the full tank on. Quite a feat, but unsuspecting,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, that's not really the one that I would go for, but, you know, there's a reason I'm a yapper, not a player. Scuttle Crab secured by the side of C9 as they once again exit as a unit.
Now, Whippo also has this teleport, and he just did...
I assume you haven't worked with him. I have not. I have not worked with Captain Flowers because he was after my time. I feel like a must keep on the broadcast. Yeah, he's very
went
good.
down to the bottom lane, so he delayed showing.
I mean, I hung out with him in
until
LA.
Now he'll get up and
He
push
like
this
came to
wave.
dinner at
Now
my house
Whipple's
and stuff.
bottom wave is going to put pressure on
Came to
Cloud9
parties I
answer.
had.
Yeah, and what FlyQuest was looking for...
But
they
no,
had
I haven't
flank
worked
on
with him
Busio, they had
directly.
Teleport, but the new Crab just foils all their plans, because when C9 picks that up, it has the explosion of new vision.
Yep.
They see Busio, they get to see every single ward that's on the flank, so then they can just scout out the rest of the play. Prioritizing that new Crab can sometimes be crucial when you know that the enemy needs an explosive teamfight.
New Crab OP. We were
Very
talking
good.
about some of the weaknesses of the new red buff. New Crab has no such weaknesses.
I would agree.
He's just very, very powerful. FlyQuest still up 1,500 gold. C9 up a single Drake. The game could go either way, but as that clock marches forward, we're still getting closer and closer to 6-item Corki, 6-item Zeri.
So I will say that, however, League of Legends has kind of changed. In the past, when there were these super tanks, scaling mattered a lot. However, now there's so much damage in the game that if you get any character to level to 6 items, everyone kind of just dies instantly. So like at 2 or 3 items, scaling real, 4 to 5, kind of fake.
That's why I would say range is so critical, because there's not a lot of ways for you to get more range. And Cloud9 inherently do have a very big advantage there, with Ornn engage being incredibly long. And then, of course, the Corki Rockets as well, looking for pokes. So we'll see if FlyQuest's flashes and snap engages will be enough to close that. And
very critically too, look at the armband for Masu. This is a big purchase, not something you would normally expect on Neela. Looking it up, I don't even know if she has a single AP ratio in the kit. She does not, based on what I'm reading, but it doesn't matter. You're not buying it for the AP. It's about being able to engage and then immediately aggro drop so you don't die. This could be a big clutch purchase for him. Cloud9's going to need to be aware of that one as Blabber wants to step up, try to see if he can maybe go.
Oh, he got Blabber.
It ain't gonna work. Engage from Bwipo, and Blabber has to zone. He's just trying to stay alive.
Oh my god, everybody's in that choke point. And Blabber got the ult off, so it doesn't really matter that he died.
Back up their jungler. He gets off his spells before he dies, and Bwipo's gonna try to get back away. Now FlyQuest going back in as Jojo gets ulted by the Lilia. He's gonna try to escape now.
Nice combo onto Jojo. Jojo has the flash.
Jojo about to die to the Eve, and there he goes. Quad takes the kill. Falcons on the run.
All right, surprisingly good fight.
Berserker's trying to fire back at these guys, but he's only a single man. He takes out 2.
He got 2 though. That's pretty huge.
For FlyQuest,
huge pick onto Blabber. The punish from
He'll probably still do Baron though.
is going to result in their Baron.
And finally, we see some of the tendencies of C9 coming out. A cheeky peek at a blue buff. Maybe I can pick this up for myself. Collapse came through from
a single. Even know if she has a single AP ratio.
Dude, this banana brush is just where every piece of action is happening this game. It's the irresistible banana brush.
She does not, based on what I'm reading, but it doesn't matter. You're not buying it for the AP. It's about being able to engage and then immediately aggro drop so you don't die. This could be a big clutch purchase for
I mean, him like
Cloud9
dying for this blue buff is fucking hilarious.
Try to see if he can maybe go for a steal, but it ain't gonna work. Engage from Bwipo, and Blabber has to zone. He's just trying to stay.
I figured that, you know, because they're so clustered up and because Blabber actually gets his ult off here and they have this massive Ornn ult, that they would actually win this fight with the damage that's being pumped in, but the Nautilus is shockingly tanky.
Jojo gets ulted by the Lilia. He's gonna.
They also do a really good job of locking down Jojo here, so he can't do damage during their kiting.
There he goes. Quad takes the kill. Falcons on the run, but the blooming blows beat him down. Berserker's trying to fire back at these guys, but he's only a single man. He takes out 2.
Berserker getting 2 though, maybe, you know, it's possible that FlyQuest could end the game.
Cheeky peek at a blue anti-carry roll very well
by Bwipo.
Very slow Baron.
Bwipo gets payback. That's what this replay is. He gave over 2 kills early in the game to Blabber.
Yeah, Jojo wasn't there at the start of the fight to deal damage either.
Blabber was trying to get a little bit too far forward.
Jojo didn't do a lot of damage in that fight because of the sleep and the TP.
Into the Rakan follow-up.
Good play by Busio though on the follow-up.
Chased out on the bottom side from Masu. As you were pointing out, Spawn, Masu just chasing the other big carry away from the fight, allowing Inspired Sleep and Busio's Rakan follow-up to do their work on Jojo. So just nicely done once they got the pick as well. I would compliment FlyQuest there.
Yeah, and I think this is something that Masu plays greater than his age in his experience, right? Because he actually sees the team fight quite slowly and quite wide, knows when it's his job to output the maximum DPS, but also in this case, knows when it's his job to just break up the team fight.
Are you a watch guy? No.
So credit to Masu, actually played that fight quite well.
He's got that the time slowdown. He sees bullet time in the team fights.
A little bit of Neo from the Matrix, maybe.
Some Max Payne going on.
I think most of those expensive watches are just ugly as fuck, man.
If they win this, we get another game. We get another one of these bangers.
I think it's so funny when those streamers spend like $200,000 on the ugliest watch I've ever seen. They like, so they'll spend, you know what's so funny about that? I love people who will spend $500,000 on the shittiest, ugliest watch in existence when they could just spend $50,000 on getting like the best stylist and actually getting a
total they've made,
good
only
wardrobe
plus
and
1,000
looking
gold.
good.
The buff itself is worth
You know what I mean?
1,500, so
Like,
not a
why
whole
not
lot
just spend that
gained
money
from
to
this major
hire
objective
a
just
great
yet, as Cloud9
stylist
are in
to
full
design your
defense mode.
wardrobe
And
for
let's see
you,
how
and it
the
would
rest of the
cost a
game's played,
fraction
because
of
they've
that
been
price, and you would look
spells
a
all
million
game
times
long, but
better.
Now this time around, Jojo and Berserker don't have some of the spells available. So if there was ever
Yeah, what people do with money to me is fucking wild, man. These watches are so ugly.
easier time to start the fight just off a hook, just off
Like, I appreciate the art of watchmaking, but like, for God's
for a
sake,
current
buy
engagement.
something
And
classy.
now you can see that Inspired going for a little bit of a wrap here.
It's not about looking good, it's about the flex. Yeah, that's some nouveau riche bullshit, man. That's some fucking Beverly Hillbillies shit. That's what you do if you have no taste.
No, he's pushing bottom lane. How dare I?
Quad also, they've got him pushing the other lane, so nice little 1-3-1 from FlyQuest.
Any examples of hideous watches? I mean, basically all of the really expensive ones. What's the Patek Philippe? Holy shit, those are some ugly watches. Dude, XQC bought the ugliest watch I've ever seen. I'll show you guys. It's so ugly. This is XUC's watch. Oh. Oh. Dude, you know what really makes it? So it's all of the shitty gears. It looks like some cheap steampunk thing. And then it's the fucking rainbow gemstone, square cut rainbow gemstones around the side with like the sparkle diamond bracelet. It's so heinous. I think this is like a $500,000 watch, guys. It literally is like maximalist. I mean, I'm not into minimalism, but like, holy shit. This is the least tasteful object I've ever seen. Boomer take. No, dude. This like actually damages my eyeballs to look at.
They get both side lanes.
It's legit one of the ugliest objects I've ever seen. You can't even tell time with it. No, you can't. How could you see the fucking hands on the watch with all those gears there?
They made a change that now later into the game you do get full experience off of minions. You know, there's no penalty for junglers being the split pushers nowadays. It is fully efficient here for Inspired to pick up.
Boomer eyeballs? No. I have 2015 vision, dude.
Should just show himself. Actually, Baron buff up for this wave because it's just cleared so easily without doing
I have the eyes of an eagle.
A little bit slow on this rotation.
There's only 20 seconds left in the Baron. Honestly, FlyQuest not going to get a ton with it. Cloud9's defense largely successful. FlyQuest, they don't even have the wave ready to go. Finally, that's going to be arriving here in the mid lane, but they don't have the power to really try to force down the tier 2 with it. Quad is going to try to steal away the enemy red buff here.
Did you do LASIK? No.
Secured by Jojo. Nice snipe back.
Okay, Jojo passed level 16.
I was born with the eyes of an eagle.
Closer to old Corki rockets. In the past, Corki was just a rocket machine.
Yeah.
Now at level 16, it really does ramp up the damage. You can see also picked up his QSS again. This is a part of the game that you get a little bit worried for FlyQuest because they didn't punish the lack of flashes. Now, Cleanse and QSS, both purchased. If this becomes a one-team fight game, C9 have a lot of tools to be able to mitigate the CC that's
I'll tell you guys a great story about my superior genetics.
They certainly do. Tools available,
not only my incredible vision.
That you mentioned.
So,
on the other side, you actually have the Rakan Mikhail.
When we were having kids, my wife and I got tested because you want to know potentially if your kids should be screened for any pre-existing genetic conditions. So they will do sample tests on you to see if you're like a carrier for any genetic diseases. So basically, if you and your partner who are having kids both have, you know, potentially genes for these genetic diseases, you know, recessive genes, they can. You look like a beanpole. I weigh 180 pounds. I'm not a beanpole. You just have seen old pictures of me. You haven't seen current Monty. So basically, you know, if you have two recessive genes, then they know to like check the kids, see if they have these issues. So my wife and I got a call, and the genetic counselor said I was one of 3 people they had ever seen to have no carrier traits for any genetic disorders ever.
Here to be able to just flash
I was the
in,
third
make sure you get
person
the
ever.
stasis, make sure no one drops down in that split second.
And I think that's the difference between playing against Brand and Lilia, right? Against Brand, he's just going to get his damage off, so you have to be a way to get untargetable, get away from that damage. Lilia, it's all about the sleep into everyone else piling on over the top. So I do like the fact that teams are itemizing specifically for the comp, not for necessarily just what they would normally purchase from the shop, you know? This isn't your
Is Korea or LA?
This
LA.
is a highly specialized, tailored menu for your opponent.
Exactly. We're leaving the cookie cutters at home. That's for baking desserts with grandma. These guys are dialed into this head-to-head. This is for the buy, remember. This is to be the other team that gets to join your Team Liquid squad spawn and only needing to win a single best of 5 to make it to Worlds. It's a huge advantage.
What are we doing in the buy, by the way?
They just saying that for more of your money? No, they didn't get any more of my
out,
money.
Buddy. For old time's sake.
Party like it's 2017?
That's what you're actually playing for, Reapit and Nuke.
Yeah,
what you don't understand, it's the privilege of joining Kobe and Sport. On a
I'm
night
actually
out.
incapable
Go. One of them old school good times.
of producing children with genetic
diseases.
diseases.
Definitively.
Because even and my wife had like 2 or something like that, and obviously like, you know, we're from very different gene
Also,
pools
like,
because
I don't
she's
care what anyone
100%
says. I will say
Korean.
This is just a regular season game. It didn't mean anything. We knew we were going to play each other. But getting a win in the last regular season against an opponent you're going to play in 2 weeks, most likely, heavily plays on your mind. You know?
Oh, yeah.
At least as a coach. I hate to lose these games.
I feel like it's huge for morale, one way or the other, right? C9, again, just trying to have control over the mid lane here. Baron is going to spawn in 30 seconds. Drake going to spawn just 5 seconds earlier. Control over the Herald pit, the Baron pit, whatever you want to call it, the pit. Currently owned by FlyQuest, but C9
This is the
quick to
airport
change
pit.
that.
Because
Yeah.
this one's got the runway.
Oh, no, I hate the airport. This is the LAX Baron. It's super clogged up, and everybody's always getting in each other's way.
Here we go.
Oh, the Bwipo flank.
Okay,
It's coming.
Bwipo and Busio coming around.
Wait, did he? Why did he hold?
Oh, no,
Why did he hold
hate the
Braum?
airport. This is the LAX Baron. It's super clogged
He needs to
up, and
ult.
everybody's always
He
getting
needs to ult Zeri.
Full flank.
Okay.
Four-way flank.
He ulted Braum.
Bwipo and Busio coming around. Cloud9 might have got caught. Immediate engage coming through from FlyQuest as the culling forces Berserker out of the fight. Bwipo still taking up in the middle of everybody, but the resurrection has to come through as Matsu's going to bring it back. Berserker outfights it. Quad going back in, but he won't be able to find him here just yet. Busio's about to drop. Still taking up.
Oh, it goes. He ulted Blabber. Goes through. Yes, yeah, you're right. I see it now. It looks like a good follow up by the Rakan.
Immediate engage coming through from FlyQuest as the culling forces Berserker out of the fight. Bwipo still taking up in the middle of
The fact that the Ornn got the R2. Oh, that's actually such a man. The Ornn play has been really good from Thanatos this game. Like, watch this. They don't have any more CC because the Ornn ult comes so late in the fight, and he actually times this so it hits quad. And then look at this, right after the arm guard goes down. Woo! That is sexy. But, I mean, the thing about Blabber is, like, you can get Blabber, but as long as Blabber gets his ult off here, which he does right there before he goes to sleep, you can see it just bouncing around in here doing insane damage. Quad gets over the side, but the fact that Quad is CC'd and then Inspired is CC'd, so this Ornn ult allows Berserker to get this kill, otherwise he probably dies. And then Quad tries to go and finish off Berserker, but his whole team is losing on this flank. You think the second one was on purpose? No. I do not think. Look, I think maybe he was like. I think maybe he was like, well, it might hit Inspired, but I don't think Thanatos. So the thing is, Inspired would not have been on Thanatos' screen. Like, if you guys watch, they actually zoom out. See, there's the zoom out. So probably Thanatos can't even see Inspired. And he's aiming at Lucian, and the timing just ended up being absolutely perfect. But Berserker might die there if not for that.
Masu's gonna be cold next, as Quad is the only one left standing. Cloud9 is not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with Cloud9.
This is what I'm talking about, though. The engages from FlyQuest just require them to be so clustered into the brand that it feels really hard for them to win the game. Doesn't Berserker give him vision? It's not about him having vision. It's about, the question is, in this team fight, guys, do you think Thanatos is looking at Inspired? He could see him if he moved his screen. But remember, we're zoomed out, so his screen probably is like this, right? I don't think Inspired's like literally... Yeah, I don't think he's aware. He's probably not even looking at it, if we're being honest. Like, he's looking at the team fight. He's trying to get his ult off. I don't think he's, like, looking at where Inspired is. That's crazy.
Okay. Flank. Whippo and Busio coming around. Cloud9 might have got caught. Immediate engage coming through.
Where's Masu's ult here? Ooh, he ults, but Blabber actually Zonias as his ult.
Whippo still taking up in the middle of everybody, but the resurrection has to come through as Masu forces Berserker out of the fight. Whippo still taking up in the middle, coming through from FlyQuest as the
Masu actually just melts the brand damage and Corky damage.
Resurrection has to come through as Masu's going to bring it back. Berserker outfights it. Quad going back in, but he won't be able to find him here just yet. Boostio's about to drop. Masu's going to be cold next as Quad is the Ultra for JoJo and Ace for 2 for C9.
And that's going to be Cloud9, your second best team in the LCS, acquiring number 2 right here. They will 2-0.
Great team fight from C9. I mean, C9's team fighting, I think, is still pretty good, but FlyQuest didn't get any value Nila ults this game either.
They thought they had the flank. They thought they had the angle. They thought wrong. Cloud9 will 2-0 this series. They will claim the second spot.
FlyQuest, though, is pretty bad.
Ask you about that last fight. What was going through your head?
I thought it was gonna be a good fight because I was able to get all my spells off, and they used all their ults on me. So I thought it was gonna be a good fight, but you know, I don't really know. I was kind of inting just how Nila works in the early game, so it's pretty hard for me to contest like any objective early. But I'm glad we played well. I think until I flashed in. But I think we played well from behind, and I'm glad we won.
Yeah, what does it mean now to get the second seed for you guys? What kind of importance were you putting on this?
I mean, I think it was more important for us to win, like, for confidence, because last split, we lost to both Fly and TL.
All right, guys. We're going to move on to LEC. Oh, yeah, I'll show you guys something. So I finished the initial Star Wars video game list. Here, I'll link it in Twitch chat and YouTube chat for you guys. I've estimated, based on time to complete, as far as I can tell, every Star Wars video game that was released on a major console or PC, there's 59 of them. So the rules of the Star Wars all game playthrough, I think, has to be that it has to be major system or PC release. And so no handheld, no plug and play, no arcade. Hey, Tasmo. Jedi Power Battles. Is that a good one? I don't know. So the estimates of time. So I don't know about Star Wars Outlaws yet because it hasn't been released. It's being released in like 3 weeks. Probably a longer one, if you had to guess. MMO is long. Yeah, the MMO is for a single character story playthrough. So the Old Republic, the idea is I would play through the single player elements of one character. And I think these estimates are probably a little long. So what I did is I took the how long does it take to play through site. And I put it as main story plus extras, but some of the crap games I may not do the extras on, so it'd just be main story only, which would be faster. The MMO isn't going to take you 120 hours, really, to complete the single player? That's good to know, but I'm just going off of the how long does it take website. So 1,000 hours. Now, if I were to stream Star Wars games 6 hours a week, if I did it 2 days a week, or 6 hours a day, if I did it 2 days a week, this would take about 1.5 years. If I did it 3 days a week, it would take a little under a year. If I averaged 12 or 18 hours a week. Is the Phantom Menace movie game? It's all in there. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 99, right here. And I guess I played through them chronologically, maybe. But I was just trying to get a sense of, like, how long this would take. I think it'll take around a year, is my guess. Is this 100% completion? No. So this is the potential project, guys. On launch, it may have taken that long, but you can solo through all the content now with the cutscenes. I put the MO around 80. Yeah, it's only, yeah. All right, I mean, it's 40 fewer hours. Pretty significant. Where are the Lego ones? Are you beating all of the shitty Star Wars games? What? This is literally all of the Star Wars games. The shitty Star Wars games, yeah. Who knows? All the Lego ones, yes. So Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga contains the first 2 Lego games in one. Then there's the Clone Wars, Force Awakens, and the Skywalker Saga. Which one would you start with? Probably the NES games, right? Those are the earliest ones. Yeah, the thing is, it's not sorted I can sort it chronologically. Right? You can sort it. You can sort it chronologically. Using an emulator for NES games, I may use an emulator. I'm not saying how I'm going to do that. So the tough ones are these ones. So interestingly, Star Wars Force Commander from 2000. I don't know how I'm going to play this. It's an RTS game. It hasn't been remade. It's not on Steam. It's not on GOG. If I tried to run it on a modern PC, I think it would just explode. So the question is, do I try and get a PC from the early 2000s to play Star Wars Force Commander? That's the big question mark. This one, I think, is the hardest one to find these days. Other ones that will be annoying. Kinect Star Wars, I have to have a Kinect for, but luckily Kinects are like $10, so I can get an Xbox 360 and a Kinect to play. You can probably use a virtual machine, maybe. And Xbox 360. This one's annoying. The other one that's annoying and apparently also a bad game is the Clone Wars lightsaber duels, which was only released on Wii. And it's also annoying because it's a really short game, but I think I have to have a Wii with that. Banditware website has it. You can download it on a virtual machine with the right operating system. Yeah, okay, that's good advice. I'll write that there. Virtual. Oops. For we can emulate with and use candles as a sensor bar. What? What does that mean? What are candles? So what inspired you to play the Star Wars games? Because it's such a stupid thing and I don't think anybody has done it. Where's Gungan Frontier? What is Gungan Frontier? There's no educational games in here. Is it an educational game? Oh, the Gungan... What the fuck is this? Oh, it's Lucas Learning. It is an educational game. Some of the educational games are really hard to find. I would play them, but they're really hard to find. And, like, run. That's probably another one I'd have to run in a virtual machine. %. Monty realizes he's in purgatory a weekend. Why do this? It's stupid, but no one has done it. Exactly. Look, if we're going to do Last Free Nation general gaming, I need some kind of stunt, you know? And the thing about the Star Wars games is that it basically, these games create an infinite amount of content. Because you could do reviews for every individual game. You could do reviews of like ranking the Star Wars games from the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, right? You could do ranking them. What is the best RPG? What is the best RTS? What is the best FPS? What is the best dogfight sim? You know, there's basically, what is the best, original trilogy game? Ranking the original trilogy games. What is the best prequel trilogy game? There's basically an infinite number of ways to remix this content once you've played the games. Short form content. Yeah, the short form content would also pop off. Yep. Serious about the candles? Give it a shot. Well, how does it sense the candles? You don't actually have to play the games to make that content? Yeah, but that's disingenuous. The Wiimote uses infrared. Oh, so you put the candles up and the Wiimote just like reads the candles instead of the sensor? That's pretty funny. Are you watching Mad Lions? Yes. Tomorrow. The Old Republic has 4 classes on both Republic and Empire side. Are you only going to play through one class? Yes, only one class. People tell me to play Operator on the Empire side. But yeah, in order to get through all of this, I'm not going to be able to play all the classes in Old Republic. And also no Star Wars Galaxy because there's no like single player function and I have to play on private servers. But anyway, here's the list. It's fun. I am contemplating doing this. It probably wouldn't be till next year at the earliest. You should do a PvP match with a StarCraft guy with their AoE clone. There's lots of fun stuff that could be done. I wonder how long a similar stunt would take with the Final Fantasy games. But that's the thing, is it opens the door to doing so much more, like all Star Trek games, all Lord of the Rings games, all Assassin's Creed games, all Final Fantasy games. Is this gameplay if you play on perfect or an average? It's just what people report the game taking if you do them. The game time is main quest plus extras. This is probably an overestimate of how long this will take, but even if it takes 20% shorter or whatever, it's still going to be 800 hours, still a lot. So we will see. That's the concept, guys. We'll see if it actually happens. I just wanted to see how many games it was, and then also how approximately how long it would take. So that's I finished it making that spreadsheet yesterday. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Those Super Star Wars ones for the SNES are brutal. Yeah, I know. Save states are required. Yeah, I would use save states for sure.
Like every time you try to approach her, she constantly is able to not only create space, but apply that massive slope. We'll see if we do get some Aurora in our first game of season finals as Varus and Leona, along with the Ashe banned away by Fnatic. Rel targeted towards the Brawl makes a huge amount of sense. And things like Wild Rumble did get hit a little bit. Seems like it's still very prevalent in the meta.
Yeah, I will say we are only on 14.15. 16, I think, comes out next week. So we're going to be on this patch for the entirety of season finals. And although there were some small nerfs and changes here, although we did see, you know, boots getting a bit more expensive, we saw some changes to Kraken Slayer, Dark Harvest. The meta is expected to stay.
Wow, we're not first picking Aurora. Really, we're first picking Misfortune.
Like the Tristana mid and still seeing a lot of those strength.
What?
In the AD mids, get to that mid.
What?
I do the shield.
Aurora stocks in the gutter. Okay, we're playing Morgana into Vi.
Ability to ban away some of the potential counters and obnoxious picks that go into the cannon.
What the fuck is this draft, dude? What is Europe on some fucking crack, man? You're just not gonna take Aurora? Look, what? What? Where is Aurora? By the way, this patch on Tournament Realm is pre hotfix. This champion is fucking busted. Okay? So where is Aurora? Where is Rumble? We got to get that more Vi counter in there, guys. What is this? Europe, what the fuck are you smoking?
Yesterday, so something we have seen. I can't remember exactly which team did it, but it really negates that allow the pentakill for it.
More well seen buffs.
Okay, so they don't ban Rel? Oh, they ban Rel. Okay. I was like, you're not going to ban Jun's Rel? That seems like something you should ban. Nope, nobody's going to pick Rumble. Europe! How did we get through this entire draft without picking Aurora or Rumble?
Does make sense alongside being able to negate
This region is
damage coming out from the Corki rock.
This region's cooked, man. This region's cooked.
Whereas the other team has a bit of zone in team fights. The Alistar really the only engage for Team BDS, alongside, I guess, the Cassante, who can isolate one member.
I feel like Fnatic's comp is a bit of a shotgun comp, you know? Well, like, ideally, they want to be the team that initiates first. As you rightly said, there's a huge amount of dive on their...
Yeah, massive amount of dive onto a very low mobility Misfortune. This Misfortune's going to be getting slammed this entire game, by the way, because you can true shot barrage over the top as well. How does MF stay alive?
Specifically allows Ezreal to be very self-sufficient, both providing potential peel for the Ezreal, but also just both of them being Fnatic options. But I do think that in the extended fight, BDS
I just don't get how Rumble and Aurora can fall through this entire draft. Both champs would be insta-picked in LCK or LPL.
Yeah, unless I like Razork starting on the top side because you are going to have that push. It just makes it easier to secure your own camps. Maybe an opportunity to try and look, as you say, for something on the bottom side, but I don't think there's a huge amount here for that to try and look for, especially against an Alistar with exhaust in these early stages. I think it's a little worrisome to try and go for a dive.
Yeah, with Ice having the...
The thing is, too, is that MF Alistar, you can't even, like, bully early. You actually just get straight bullied out like this, so it eliminates a lot of MF's priority.
Appropriately, as always, Alistar...
All right, we'll see what she gets Bloodthirster, though. That's where the spike is.
Because he only has the pulverize, can't really do too much more in that lane. Has now pressed it over to level 2, but the wave's already shoved in. Oscar trading with Adam on the top side, and it's what you talked about, Betty. Expected that the ranged into the melee, even though Cassante is many things. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't...
Adam doing the exhaust teleport tech into Kennen. I mean, the Cassante, like, straight up wins this, too. This is another problem with taking Kennen blind, is that the value you get from Cassante, because not only have we seen Cassantes just absolutely win the all-ins when they take exhaust TP, but you also don't have to... Actually, they have double exhaust, which is hilarious. I mean, it is actually good here, because I think being able to exhaust both Kennen and Yone has value, but you don't have to take the exhaust in the bot side. And then... You know, on top of that, if the Kennen never goes in, you have the Cassante just to ult him away. Like, Cassante, that's why I'm not... I think you can only really run the Kennen as a counter pick these days.
He has the draw and shield. He also has his pot still available, so he's going to be more than comfortable in this lane for the time being. It's this bot lane for BDS that you really have to keep your eyes on in the early laning phase. As Sheo sets his sights on the top lane.
Ooh, I like it. Skip the blue, go to top. Maybe a little Yordle, your prize. They get the slow exhaust down first. Oscar in and holding the flash for now. Lands the stun. The dark binding from Sheo. Oscar's continuing to hold. He tries to just
almost no prediction there.
To sidestep it.
Oh, Sheo tried to predict that, held it for so long, even tried to bait it out that flash with the auto attack initially, but Oscar in and holds onto it, just barely able to escape, so nicely done. But it is going to be the flash burn for Oscar in and then giving that opportunity for Adam to at least get the wave pushed out for himself and get a reset in as well.
Just great. Fifth auto passive to be able to proc the W and just kind of use that way to gain advantages in lane. But burning his flash is going to alleviate a lot of pressure. Now, you could argue both top laners don't have flash, right? Evening up the playing field a little bit.
Using the strut and the early booch bursts to get back, but now mid, Humanoid goes for trade. But this will give an opportunity for them to push out this bot wave and maybe open up Labrov to make some sort of play, especially with Humanoid being as low as he is in the mid lane. I'm curious if they try and make something happen towards that mid lane as this wave bot side crashes.
Nice pings from BDS coming out onto Razork.
Who's that actually?
I'm curious if they
Look at Labrov here. He punts it out. They're freezing the lane. He actually punts out the cannon minion to move the wave out from under the turret. Are they trying to freeze it? What are they doing? Yeah, actually, look at this. This is actually a cool play. He punts out the cannon minion to help freeze so that MF is safe farming and he can actually go for a roam. That's cute. That's cute.
And he was exactly right. The pings are on the mark. He's going to be back towards his top grubs. He's going to be working through his second rotation of the jungle. And it does mean that Share will be a little bit behind, but fortunately Morgana, especially the more level.
He's covering. He's using this time to cover mid so Nook can push up.
Speed, should be able to catch up no problem.
The supports around the mid lane right
it's actually
now.
really interesting macro play there.
Boots and a control ward for Jun. Opened back up through mid. Have some stats for you in terms of how often these players have played these champs. It's the first time we've seen Humanoid on Yone in a competitive game. It's a bit surprising to me, I'll be honest, but it's cracking out something new here for the season finals. Oscar is 5-1 all-time on the cannon, but has only played one of those games in the LEC, which he did win. So 100% win rate on the LEC stage. We'll see if Fnatic can continue that today.
I've been keeping my eye on what Labrov has been up to, because I thought there might have been a window where you try and push out bot wave a bit more heavily. You could go play mid, you can go for contestants, bot side camps, but with Sheo moving up towards his top side, I think Labrov just kind of missed his window to reset, as you were already
Dag didn't see it. I've never seen anybody do that either, though, so I don't blame him, but he wasn't going to reset. He was actually covering mid. He was covering the mid push by creating a freeze with the cannon minion.
Credit to the BDS bot lane. I think this bot lane matchup can be challenging in the early levels, but they've been able to navigate perfectly. When we think back to Ice as a player, even though there were a few fumbles from him, when we think back to the...
Speaking of Star Wars The Old Republic, middle doing IA story again, it's my 39th character. All right, well, the Shy Guy, which character... If I have to only play that game one time, which character story should I do?
When we think about his year, he's been an incredible acquisition.
People have said Operator or Commando. Operator's been the most popular answer, though.
G2, as we see Sheo setting up around the mid lane. Razork's down towards the bottom side. Labrov gets the knockback onto Jun. There is the cleanse out of Ice, but the flash from Razork will be enough. Ice falls. Fnatic get first blood. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Adam is going all out. Pop the exhaust, but can't get
Trooper is shite. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to have a look at that replay again, because I don't know if Labrov wanted to get the double pulverize on Noah and Jun and then flash to try and block Razork, or if he was trying to predict that Razork was going to flash and then flash pulverize. But
Imperial Agent is the most. Isn't that Operator?
All the bases. Good gank from Razork to get in onto the bottom side.
Talked about how bot lane could be an option, and it's largely because of the setup from the Brawn. They get the passive applied, cleanses through it, but the slow was enough to allow for Razork to arrive and set up a really nice Q flash to connect that CC and ultimately find that kill onto Ice.
I think Labrov might have been trying to predict that Razork was going to flash in on top of Ice and then try to get the Q flash to interrupt the knockup, and then you should have been able to get out, but just unfortunate. It means that he doesn't end up hitting Noah Jun, doesn't quite get Razork as he goes in. That means that Razork's able to get the kill.
Razork looking up towards the top side here. The wave not in the best of spots for Adam, as Oscar in and can just thin it out. Adam does have the TP though, so it looks like he's just going to retreat to the safety of his tower and teleport back in.
Well, relatively quiet early game from both teams. There were always going to be questions around how these teams looked coming into the season finals. both ended up falling short to G2, even though they consistently found those early game leads. But they weren't always able to convert them into victories. So we'll see how these teams have been able to adapt, evolve, rectify some of the mistakes from Summer. Now, with Worlds on the line, a lot of these teams for them to play for.
Huge man for both these teams to play for, and something we did see a lot in the finals was Razork's impact on the map in the early game. The battle between him and Sheo today is going to be really important. You can see Razork here falling behind in gold difference, but had a high...
When are we watching G2 MDK tomorrow?
Already been on the map here, getting that first blood in the bottom lane.
Crucially though, look at his counter jungle percentage. He spent a lot of his advantages trying to get into the enemy jungle, but this game...
Imperial Legion is the class. The general consensus is that it has the best story. That's what I've heard.
With a knock-up, tries to get Noah out of the situation, and the Unbreakable falls off, and Ice opens up the big guns. Beautiful counter gank from Sheo as they look for more jungle with a knock-up.
Look at his counter jungle percentage. He spent a lot of his advantages trying to get into the enemy jungle, but this game he's all about the ganks.
Looking down towards the bottom lane, goes in.
Absolutely owned by Sheo, by the way. Sheo has the absolute read on this. Look at this combo, though. Perfect Black Shield timing. Straight into Morgana ult. Pulverize and root onto Vi. Into the ultimate. Great counterplay from BDS. That is really nicely done.
Great timing from Sheo. Razork thought he had that moment where he could go in with the ult, but Sheo goes, nope. Black Shield, you don't get to play on Ice, and Ice gets to wander back, build some space, and immediately turn it around with the ultimate.
The Morgana just offered so much value there, and great patience from Ice. Gets into position to land the bullet time, and is able to do so much work off the back of it. The ultimate comes through, there's the Black Shield.
Straight into root, straight into pulls, allows the chains to go down. He waits till the shield is basically, the Braum shield is almost down to start channeling bullet time, so he gets a lot of value out of bullet time.
Churn ends up falling, and it's a double kill for Ice.
Sorry, Benny, I did the thing that you always talk about Colorcasters doing there, which is the, if I don't say this point, no one's going to, you are 100% going to say that point.
Yes, I was just waiting for the replay to come up.
Did you know he used the Unbreakable early there? Which really said
Oh, LeBron looking for a play here around mid lane as well as Jun is caught out, but it's great for BDS to get Ice ahead like this because as you said earlier, Benny, he's so consistently the carry for this team as the game goes on. We saw him and Nuke popping off a few times together, but so often if you put Ice in a position where he can carry, he will be able to take BDS across the finish line.
And I think it's been a little bit of a different look for BDS in the way that they've set Ice up. When you look at summer regular season, it was, hey, we're going to rotate him around the map, use these early pushing lanes to get gold onto him, get plates onto him, and look to carry through that. But it has been more going back towards skirmishes and trying to play around the spot side, in particular in this game, where BDS have been able to get Ice those leads. And now they're using to pick up that second round of Void Grubs. So 6 Void Grubs now for the potential for a nuke in the side lane, or for even Ice, if you can push Noah back, is going to be pretty clutch for BDS.
So 10 minutes into the game, gold-based
BDS works out, because you can see now they're not rotating down to try and contest Dragon. They're actually going to use the 6 Void Grubs to push in on towards top and get more gold on towards Ice. So if they can successfully make a play on towards top side, maybe even dive Oscar in here, I think you're very happy as BDS. But if Oscar is able to defend this top side and then you get Dragon, I think that's where Fnatic are going to be much more pleased.
I guess my opinion is more swayed on how good is Humanoid on Yone.
We don't know.
Because, like, it's one of those things where, like, okay, the scaling one is a bit weird, because you could argue, like, MF scaling is very dependent on, like, how much can she utilize her ultimate in the late game? Like, does she get the freedom? She's a relatively low mobility since she doesn't have dashes. This is a dive.
Looking for it. Wall breaker in, exhausted immediately. Razork takes up the tower. Jun actually the one doing it now. Adam gets the knockback with the Pathmaker. Q3 will knock Razork back in. Season assist all out, blocks it.
Oh, nice.
Tower right now, and Adam's down to half HP. Another Volt Breaker goes.
He ulted the Vial.
To try and stop it. Razork takes the tower, has to flash away.
Oh, got 2 flashes out of that though. That's pretty good value from Adam.
I mean, honestly, that was incredibly well played from both sides. Adam did about everything right that he could have done, and he gets 2 flashes out of it and the ignite from Jun. but Fnatic still find the kill. Considering all of the tools that K'Sante has in his kit, they were able to navigate their way through Adam doing everything correct, and they still don't lose any members.
The thing is, though, on the top side, BDS get all those turret plates and that first turret gold into ice. Oscarinin got zoned away from the turret as well because Shea was there. So I think you kind of come out a little bit ahead as BDS just because of the massive gold lead you can see on towards ice at the moment.
I would argue that Fnatic are setting themselves up nicely for the Dragon Wing condition. And we think about their composition, it does have that shotgun effect, right? Vi ultimate, Kennen ultimate, Yone ultimate, you can very quickly get on Dragon, they're going to be big side after securing that top tower. Now they have their eyes on mid.
And that's why I think what BDS need to do is leverage the fact they've taken that top lane tower. Push out with Nuke, move Labrov as you get shove in mid to cover that play on top side.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why is Humanoid winning this lane? That is very strange.
So I definitely think both sides, as you know, Vedi has already set out how Fnatic win. You can see a BDS do the same. Like, this game is still all to play for. It comes into how you execute over the next 4 minutes until that dragon comes up.
My instinct for BDS is that they just ultimately want to survive, right? Like, as long as you survive that initial cannon burst, if K'Sante can remove him from the fight, a good placed exhaust. Like, my instinct says in the extended fight, Fnatic or BDS have a big advantage, but I want to see how the fights play out. Because there are ultimately a lot of variables, a lot of individuality that can change the outcome of the fight. As Humanoids demonstrating some of that now on the Yone.
LeBron's trying to cover Adam here, but Adam, even with the all-out, I'm not sure he survives this. Glacial Fisher going down, TP in, LeBron joins the party, knock up with the cease and desist, and Jun tags the tower for just long enough for Fnatic to juggle the aggro. Bolt breaker back in by Razork. The pulverized look pretty, but it's not much enough for LeBron. 2 kills to Fnatic.
In the top side, though, you still have that 6 Void Grub buff, and Nuke is going to move up here at Shale. I don't think
why the fuck do we TP?
You should be able to get a good amount of damage down. Just
why did we TP in the bot side?
I think they were worried about how behind they were on the play because the bot tower had already fallen, the resets coming through. You can see now Fnatic returning to the top lane. They didn't want to overextend. So I understand the play, makes sense. They do at the very least get 2 towers.
I think it plays into what you were talking about, Vedi, though, which is Fnatic want to find these fights, right? And I think the way that BDS try to set themselves up successfully is taking towers, pushing Fnatic back so they can't play this blood push as well. But now Fnatic get the kill.
Why are we TPing into this when we know they're at Herald and we lose a tier 2?
Mid-lane turrets, they can always fight for Dragon, and I think that's going to hurt BDS.
The flash in here from LeBron,
like,
the idea is good.
Why do we care? Just like literally, you don't need to TP because you can just attack the turret.
The ultimate from Humanoid.
Like you actually can just drop tower aggro, attack the turret, and wait until Lebrov's ult expires.
He may have been able to trade one back, but because the tower falls, it ends up being a clean 2-0 for Fnatic. Crucially, Humanoid got one of those kills. And look at this Kennen now. A 1 point.
By that TP was useless, and it gave them an opportunity to get turret gold on the top side.
Losing a decent amount of farm. This Kennen is going to become a huge threat, and we think about it, right? Remember, while they were conceding some of the towers on the top side of the map, they were conceding the Herald. 2 dragons, third one spawning in a minute and a half. You look across those items, Kennen in a good spot, Vi in a good spot. Like, this is going to be a big pivotal swing point for BDS about how they handle. Maybe they just abandon, maybe they concede the 3rd dragon and instead look to try and trade for mid tower or something. We'll see.
And that's why I think, like, even having that bot lane tower down is fantastic for Fnatic because it opens up Oscarinin to push in bot, disappear into BDS's bot side jungle as that 3rd dragon spawns, look for flank angles. It's going to be a little bit difficult now for BDS to try and play out for this 3rd Drake, and as long as Fnatic are able to play the team fight out cleanly, I think they're in a good spot.
Minute left on the Drake, currently all vision. Their decides against it. In his respects, obviously the Source Shale walk
to plenty on the side of BDS. They make their way back out onto the map. Botwave been pushed in by Oscar, but it should be BDS that has access to this river.
Because they pulled Fnatic to the top side.
With double TP on top. BDS out. Oscarinin still in a great spot. You have no vision now of the electric grass, and he can pop off here.
Small advantage for BDS is that the Corki's able to push that extra wave in.
Now, can Ice live is the question. He's got BT.
Test this wave, but it's BDS that get the first push. They have control over the river.
He's got a black shield, but it's still going to be really hard for this MF to live because the amount of dive on Fnatic and the amount of backline damage with True Shot Barrage as well.
Unbinds his soul, but takes a chunk for it, down to half HP. The way push for BDS in the middle.
Still up though, so Oscarinin going to be difficult for him to really make something, so I think Fnatic are just going to call it. I think they should just move immediately up towards this top side, see if they can threaten that top tier 1, but yeah, just BDS able to bully them out of river with
Maelstrom coming out at Oscar's
Fnatic
I think they should just move.
Wait, what happens to Oscar here? He just gets hurted. He just gets hurted by Alistair straight into
ultimately
Krugs.
Fnatic acting as spectators there. Oscar now finds himself in danger as he's going to get collapsed on.
Fnatic are about absolute cinema, but that was a spectator sport. The slicing maelstrom coming out, and Oscar's locked up with a dark binding. He tried to take the long way round, but the only place he's going is home to the fountain. BDS catch out the rats.
And it's worrying how that fight
Okay.
there.
Just move immediately up towards his top side, see if they can threaten.
Why didn't we just go through Tri-Brush? Remember, there's no turret here. Like, just go this way? What are we doing? Why is he wandering around in the enemy jungle? He can actually just go through Tri-Brush and then recall.
Ultimately, Fnatic acting as spectators there. Oscar now finds himself in danger as he's going to get the fight in that
Okay.
situation. But BDS
I guess he didn't want to. He hated this tier 1 bot lane turret. He hated it. Wanted it to go down immediately.
A bit like an opportunity cost issue for Fnatic. They were like, we've invested a lot of time in mid lane. We've invested control wards down towards the bottom side. We should fight around this dragon. We invested in getting the first two, but as soon as you say humanoids chunked out, they couldn't make up their minds to just back away. If they'd all gone up towards topside, maybe they take the tower. If they'd all
are seeing some of the weaknesses that we did still see from Fnatic. Their mid game is a big point of question. Their ability to play the mid game macro, their lane assignments. Like you were questioning why they passed through Fnatic the fight. They
Corki was in bot lane as well. No, Corki, there was nobody there. He literally, no, there's nobody there.
They're still up though, so Oscar going to be difficult for him to really make something. So I think Fnatic are just going to call it. I think they should just move immediately up towards his top side, see if they can threaten that top tier 1.
There's no reason.
Soon Vision can get catches in the future, but the opportunity cost felt too great in the moment, and in the end, Oscar Winning pays for it with his life.
I mean, the truth is up towards Dragon, and again, use it on a Yone earlier, that's fine, because the other one...
You're going to get so tanky on B and immediately start to move in. If I can work this, like push in here, start to drift across as you get the push in mid, and you can try and take out that here, but it's not quite working out, although it looks like BDS may have fumbled a little bit, giving Humanoid some time in this bot lane terror.
A couple of players showing on the top side means that Humanoid knew he could push up a little bit further. Does have ward cover as well. You can see one by the Razor Beaks and one just next to where he is right now, covering most of the avenues by which someone could walk behind him.
Thing is, even if they collapse on Humanoid, what does Fnatic then do? Rush Baron?
Probably.
Kennen, Ezreal, Vi. Start that Baron kill because
as the continue to invest their time in taking the turret, and it will fall.
You're seeing some of the zone control they have. So the MF Rainfall, I forget what it's called.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. That's the one I was looking for. And then with the Morgana, both Q and the pool.
Dark
it's
binding.
Yeah, okay. I call that QW, okay?
That's valid.
The Morgana QW along with the MFE basically just act as very like minor zoning tools around an objective, and you saw how easily they can take a tower like this. So now with the mid control opened up, it makes invading into the enemy jungle that much easier. Casante's just continuing to passively farm on the bot side of the map. We're setting up now. Resets coming through.
Cut out. But Jun...
Yeah, we're actually fighting for this next Drake.
BDS are kind of making the plays that we're talking about Fnatic should probably be making, and they're in a great spot now. They get the resets first, as long as the Prob doesn't get cut out. But Jun didn't get that reset off. So you're looking at very few control wars for Fnatic.
Yeah, BDS has no vision.
Be lacking if BDS control this mid push, which they do with the Misfortune, and then can move in and force Fnatic away off of this river portion.
Interesting little bit of support itemization.
Okay, they actually just can't match the Yone in the side lane. Like, the Yone being this far up, guys, this is the biggest part of this game, honestly. Like, the Yone is 50 CS ahead, and now he's just unstoppable in a side lane.
For you to get there, obviously it was changed on 14-15, I want to say, where you need that little bit of extra HP.
The fact the Yone should not be this far up. This should not be a thing. Like, I don't know how Nuke like is so far behind and lost lane to the Yone. It creates a lot of really big game problems, I think.
Look for the collapse. The Drake has been begun. Fnatic on it first. Will be their third of the game.
Fnatic need to force this because Ice can get on towards mid-wave, so they're feeling the pressure to start this fight.
Unbreakable used again by Jern. Razzle jumping in though. Pathmaker out the slicing maelstrom. There's the shotgun we were looking for.
What is Nuke's positioning here? What is Nuke trying to accomplish? Okay, so he sees Humanoid on this ward, right? He sees Humanoid on this ward, but what is he supposed to do? So what is the if Humanoid walks up here, goes soul unbound and ults over the wall? What does Corki do? What does Corki do? Like, I don't understand what the purpose of Corki on this flank is. Like, he can't stop the Yone from doing what he's doing. And also, Oscarinen gets a free flank here. He just flashes in and stuns the MF. The MF is stunned by Corki, then immediately cleanses, but then gets hit by Yone ult. Exhaust goes down onto Humanoid, but it still dies. What was Corki? What was the purpose of Corki watching the flank? Why is Corki marking the flank? What does a Corki do? Tell me what a Corki does in that situation. All right, game's over now.
That whole thing up with a great engage. Fnatic have been looking so desperately to find that fight, and they finally
like. Should we have a Corki sitting on the flank trying to stop a Yone who absolutely cannot stop this Yone, or should we have Corki, our poke champ, poking in the neutral? Like, why isn't the Corki poking in the neutral here? And instead, because they can't poke in the neutral, Adam walks up, Razork jumps in, and then they just mega wombo them with a flash cannon ult. Like, they knew, everybody knew Yone was there.
Can get on towards mid-wave, so they're feeling the pressure to start this fight. And Adam, Unbreakable used again by Jern. Razzle jumping in.
Where is the black shield?
Will be their third of the game.
Fnatic need to force this because Ice can get on towards mid-wave, so they're feeling the pressure to start this fight. And Adam,
Unbreakable used again by Jern. Razzle jumping in though. Pathmaker out the slicing Maelstrom. There's the shotgun we were looking for, and they absolutely delete BDS.
It's like actually horrendous positioning by BDS.
A massive team fight for Fnatic. 4 members dead on the side of BDS, and Razork to set that whole thing up with a great engage. Fnatic have been looking so desperately to find that fight, and they finally found it.
Beautiful stuff from Fnatic, and that might have just sealed the game for them right there, though Nuke gets on towards Humanoid.
Nuke loses this. He can't do those extended trades. Guess he popped his shield though, so worth though.
They got their third Drake as well. They're on Soul Point now for that mountain. The Baron secured 25 minutes in, the game truly in their control.
Yeah, and you can see BDS are trying to cover way too many angles here. They've got Humanoid coming down, so Nuke wants to cover that, but the engage is beautiful. The immediate
This Corki was so useless. It's crazy how useless Corki was.
Coming over the side, it was so well coordinated by Fnatic.
And you see the
It's a good engage by Fnatic then, but it was also incredibly free.
Draw Fnatic out, but they forced BDS's hand by starting that objective, and BDS have to walk in. So really
Black Shield never got used. I didn't see it either. I thought it might have just like melted into, like somebody might have gotten it and then Cannon ult just cleared it immediately.
With the Baron. This Yone can be a massive threat on a side, all across. Yeah.
Oscar can always lightning rush away here as well. He'll do exactly that. The tower still stands just as Humanoid. He collapsed on here. It does still have the flash and the fate sealed, so should be able to dash out of this one. Does exactly that.
But
desperately trying to find something for his team.
The flash.
Wait, Nuke dies?
He doesn't win this.
Nuke flash forward. Humanoid flashed over him. Oh, his feet are broken. His ankles shattered by Humanoid.
The Yone at this point in the game, the W gives so much of a shield.
Over him. This one does exactly that.
But Fnatic still got what they wanted. They created pressure and they
doesn't win this.
Nuke flash forward. Humanoid. Oh, his feet are broken. His ankles shattered by Humanoid.
The Yone at this point in the game, the W gives so much of a shield. He overestimated his damage. And Nuke desperately trying to find something for his team as he can feel the game slipping away.
Terrible.
It's Humanoid that finds
Like, he just doesn't. Corki just doesn't win that. Holy shit, this game is fucking terrible from Nuke. He literally loses lane to Yone, tries to mark a flanking Yone, and then tries to duel a Yone.
It was so well done.
Look at the value of the
By the way, this is Humanoid's first game on Yone, so he's literally losing to a first-time Yone. Very cool.
Well played.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of the Immortal Shield Bow and the W
I
there.
thought that was already procced.
The Immortal Shield Bow was already procced.
Spectator overlay can lie to us, but
It was procced right there, but yeah, I mean the thing is, the gross thing is he loses without even the.
How far does he want to go for this?
He doesn't win this.
Nuke flash forward, humanoid flash.
It's just the Yone shield, man.
His feet are broken.
Mid, they're pushing in top, and they just didn't know where they were going to go. And Fnatic punished so well, they get that top tier.
Oh my God, you're right. Nuke was level 15 compared to level 18 humanoid. Holy shit.
Well played.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
I thought that was already procced.
Nuke is such a fucking bum, man. Holy shit.
But
huge shield anyway, and he's 3 levels up, right? Like it's going to help you a little bit in those sorts of situations.
Very true. Now the final. I say the final dragon because of
Yone on LDR is also freaking gross. Yeah, he should have Moral Reminder.
Fnatic is going to get it given the gold lead that they have. But
Especially because the MF has BT. Whatever. Whatever.
Before, right, Fnatic got a great team fight earlier.
BDS are just bums. It doesn't matter.
How their composition works. But if they don't find those kind of engages, how does the extended fight then look? You'd imagine with a gold lead like this, it should still go the way of
360 CS at 29 minutes. Well, he has a free side lane. He shouldn't have been able to get a free side lane this whole game.
For BDS to get vision into river or even close.
Adam already ran out of the half HP. They engage. LeBob goes in onto Oscar Rinin. They're not back on the back line as Razor goes unstoppable.
Oh.
Fate Seal goes wide, and even with the exhaust, humanoid should be able to take down Adam. Already Razor's fallen. Adam's done the same. Noah trading in.
They win this though.
So low, but BDS only have 3
Nobody can stop humanoid. Just murder them, humanoid.
Humanoid on the front line. Ice flashes away. Humanoid dies. Noah dives in. Noah takes. Oscar and Jun are so low, but BDS only have
Noah's actually trolling here, dude. No, Noah is trolling. Why doesn't he flash sooner?
Humanoid on the front line. Ice flashes away. Humanoid dies.
Humanoid doesn't have to die there if Noah flashes sooner.
So low, but BDS only have 3 players left to try and fight this one out. Humanoid on the front line. Ice flashes away. Humanoid dies. Noah dives in. Noah takes 2. Some redemption for Noah on the Ezreal as he manages to get a double on the backside. Share so half HP though. Noah trying to heal up with his Bloodthirster. Should be able to do so. Sheo. Oh! The dragon! Guardian! Oh my God!
They got Jun killed!
The Unbreakable is enough for now. Jun tanks it. True Shot Barrage comes out. Noah hits 1.
What is Noah doing? He doesn't have smite! Noah, you're not a jungler!
In again as Noah steps forward. He misses the Mystic Shot. The Drake taken by BDS, but Fnatic definitely won the fight.
So the soul was denied.
Ah! Why is he used so bad?
BDS is capable of doing. The engage doesn't quite go the way Fnatic wanted.
No, he saw Humanoid come in here, and as he comes in with the E, he's able to get in, get the damage down, but he has to hop back, so BDS go in, knowing Humanoid can't really follow up. And it's a nice sidestep from Ice. Adam yoinks Humanoid out and exhausts him, so Ice is able to play further up in the fight. But it's Noah on this left-hand side who finishes off LeBron, works them with Humanoid to come in here. Humanoid nearly ends up outplaying it, but the flash away, the Noah gets barely the double kill here. But now, Fnatic, they're on the Baron.
Free Baron.
They're nowhere to be seen.
Show's dead, right? So challenging it would be a little trickier. Fnatic will get their second Baron of the game. Their stance complete now for Humanoid as well.
It's fascinating to see how important that previous fight was, because you think about those HP bars. If Fnatic, my biggest criticism of Fnatic in that fight was the target focus. They tried to lock down the Morgana, whereas Ice was completely untouched in the fight.
Well, Will here and separate It survives an average of about 200 HP. The Warmogs will start ticking over. Already has that Kindle gem, so he will heal up if he wants to stay around. Instead, going back to the fountain for now. Fnatic pushing on 3 separate lanes. Oscar Rinin has a cannon wave towards the top side. That will slowly work its way in. Humanoid down towards the bottom, has a wave of his own. The Baron remains for a minute and a half. BDS trying to push this.
I thought you'd be doing the G2 game tomorrow.
Take that in the mid lane, no way for about 20 seconds.
No ultimate either means that he's in a difficult spot to try and go for this big play, but BDS setting up here is LeBron. We'll find at least Razork for the moment.
It didn't really do too much there. Yeah. Razork's like, I guess I should use an ability after you've full comboed me here. Maybe just stopping the rotation there from Razork. The inhibitor tower in the top lane falls though, and BDS on the last dregs.
I can't believe shit lions are probably going to Worlds. That's so crazy to me.
Going wide, we'll blame that on terrain diff, I guess, elevation or something. The y-axis messing up the Dark Binding as an inhibitor tower falls in the mid lane. Noah on the front line. Adam tried to keep Oscar in at bay. Nuke doing the same with Humanoid, but that turret's down to a third HP now as well. The inhibitor in the top line has almost fallen, and BDS are just collapsing all over the map. They're trying to defend everywhere, and in doing so, defending nothing. Inhibitor tower in the bot lane, the last one standing for BDS, but not much longer, I think.
Flash is now up for LeBron, but I think it's a little too late. You can already see it. The minion's going to clear out that bot tower. The top inhibitor falls. Fnatic delighted as they're going to reset. And now look what a minute until now.
If they can just survive that burst, there's a world where they can win a team fight, but at this point, with the wallet difference, like GA completed for Humanoids, a death gap almost finished for Oscar, and I just like the way that Fnatic, they didn't try to overforce another fight, they just used the fact that Baron slowly chips away at the towers, and they also just have a lot of poke with both Ezreal, Ultimate.
So quickly, BDS might have moved down to be like, hey, Humanoid doesn't have ult. That's going to be kind of the go button, but double GA on both Razork and Humanoid will make the fight still incredibly difficult to try and win out on. And at this stage, I think BDS are going to realize, look, they're kind of topped off, so maybe you can catch up, but it's a long shot. Fnatic with this soul are so incredibly strong, and all they have to do is pile onto this bot lane inhibitor.
5-man bot for Fnatic. That's a possible strategy. Obviously, you can still leave Oscar and Humanoid in side lanes if you want. They can just add that extra up, getting some. Yeah, we should. Oh, only when you have 5 full items do you include boots as an item. Interesting.
We can't just decide that, just to be clear.
According to Reddit, we set all the narratives. So we can change it, Betty. Right. From now on, when you have boots, you're on 1 item.
Oh god, that's a dangerous game you're playing.
When you get to completed items, though, you should have 7 items because you got 2 boots.
True. Yeah. Did you ever, when you played Hecarim, buy 6 pairs of boots because you thought you had to? Even though he only has 4 feet, I think I just added 2
Centaurs do have 2 rib cages.
Yeah, that's true. They have 2 sets of lungs as well. I was talking about the anatomy of this the other day, and it confused the hell out of me. So, at the moment, the anatomy of this team fight is looking like BDS can't find it, as Humanoid continues to push out the bot side. With a 12,000 gold lead, no surprises that Fnatic can eat up that damage. The Mountain Soul, of course, helping them with that extra shielding. Next wave on its way in the bottom lane. 2 Nexus towers stand between Fnatic and the win, but a Baron perhaps the first prize in their eyes.
You can see how careful Fnatic is being. The comms are very clearly, guys, just don't do anything weird, okay? We're going to take our 3rd Baron of the game and everything's going to be fine. So that's what they're going to do. 3rd Baron of the game.
God, this game, why is this game 40 minutes long?
Steady is going to be Fnatic's approach, and you know what?
I'm not one to call games over before they but this one, quite possibly. 14,000 gold now to lead for Fnatic. It's really done, but dotting the I's and crossing the T's. You know, the dot in an I is called a tittle. It's a great name. Oh. And as you can tell, from that stunning commentary I just made. We're kind of waiting for one of these teams to take a fight, right? And Fnatic don't.
What a terrible game.
They've got double supers in every way.
All right, well, I mean, at least Fnatic is cautiously and deliberately closing out this game. I can't complain about this. This is how you should play the game. Just horrible to watch.
Also below 50%. BDS really, they don't have enough wave clears to deal with the minions. Never mind with Fnatic. LeBron flashes in, knocks Humanoid back, but he can just yeet himself back out of the fight. And the true shot barrage finds its mark. The Vault Breaker slicing Maelstrom. It's a shotgun, and BDS have eaten both battles. Fnatic will clean it up and go 1-0 up in the series.
Shame on Duke. Holy shit, what a terrible game.
Really all started in that bot.
Game 2 will be better, right, guys? Surely?
About Noah. Ezreal is a champion that typically we associate with success, even though in the finals he wasn't able to win.
Oh, yeah, the city of Munich. Simply Munich. Ooh, yeah. Bavarian State Ministry for Digital Affairs. Hell yeah. Dude, I love the Bavarian State Ministry for Digital Affairs.
Okay, Misfortune.
Do we watch C2 today? No, tomorrow.
Misfortune obviously has very strong at the moment, especially with the Bloodthirster first. You can do a lot of work, but
we're still that now. Fnatic's like, we must have the MFB1. Do we pick Aurora? No. Do we pick Rumble? No.
player either. You know, you talked about the Braum. It does make a lot of sense in the context of Fnatic. They're continuing to pick the brand as well, even after...
Braum pick incredibly high value into the Leona. Sejuani. All right, we're just going to take Leona Ziggs bot sides. Now we're going to ban out some mids. Oh, we're just going to ban out Adam champs because we don't want Adam playing Olaf into our MF. Makes sense, actually. Blind Lucian mid. Nope. No Aurora, just Cassante. Just Cassante Azir. Feels weird to take the brand. Why would we take Brand instead of Maokai here? If we're going to play Azir mid, why would we take Brand instead of Maokai?
Something long range for Adam here could actually be really...
You've been talking about it for weeks, Rob. It is something Adam has been playing a lot in solo queue.
All right, you get the Wombo, the brand MF damage. Hopefully it's Grasp Azir. I hope this is Grasp Azir. This should be Engage Azir. That would be actually good. Do neither of these tops play Rumble? I mean, Adam was like famously bad at Rumble last Worlds, but he improved on the champion.
I think it can work well with the Sejuani. Obviously, the Sejuani...
Like, do neither of the tops play Aurora either? Like, do they just not know how to play any champs?
When it comes to the fights, I think that when you have a Ziggs, something like a Corki would have just given you a little bit more of non-committal DPS, just because Lucian just have to get a little bit closer.
But you are so funny. You think they think what they will take when they pick 1, 2, 3? I mean, Edward, I don't think you have to think. I think you just slam Rumble and Aurora.
MFE, MF ult, they have... There's a DU.
I hope it's Grasp Azir. Come on, Grasp Azir. No, it's Fleet Footwork. Ah!
Looking at Fnatic composition, like Cassante and Azir, they can match, sure. But I definitely agree with you. There's room for potential.
I think Grasp is maybe the...
on the side of BDS. We'll see how things play out.
No, I think Grasp Azir is what you play.
Are you guys a master of the Rift? Do you never miss a game?
Grasp Azir, Arm Guard, second item.
Head on over to SantanderGaming.com to win weekly and monthly rewards like Hextech chests and skins. This week's code is Arcane10. With the new teaser just coming out, I'm very excited for it.
Oh, the new teaser. You mean leaking all the episodes? Because Netflix leaked the episodes of season 2.
No, it's not all the Kevins. It's...
So actually, you just watch it now.
He knows who he is.
The guy sitting next to David.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Skynet is an operation.
Yeah.
Shout out to Netflix leaking it.
A lot of firsts in this game already. It's the first time we've seen Adam on Camille this year. First time we've seen Ice on...
I haven't seen them, no. Is it good? The first 5? Snowcane, your review, please. It was so bad? Really? Did you like the first season?
History either. So a few firsts going out.
And we'll see how they do. This is the favorite caster phrase. My expectation is that at early levels...
This season is flopping.
Actually,
it's not surprising.
My instincts say that Noah and Jun should be able to get priority.
Oh, you say first season is good?
Yeah, Ziggs can't do anything.
Second season is bad.
Ziggs really gets very strong around level 4.
They shouldn't wait till November, just put it out now. Well, how would we just have all of Worlds be an Arcane advertisement instead of focusing on the players and the teams? If they put it out now instead of November.
So Ziggs really gets very strong around level 4, level 5, and you can actually look for a lot of kill pressure, which I think people don't realize, as you can get that combo off, especially with the provided.
Yeah, you know, if we released Arcane now, we wouldn't actually, you know, we would actually have to focus on the esports during Worlds instead of Arcane advertisements.
From LeBron. Having the Ignite down already makes it a little bit more tough, but you do have to be exceptionally careful at that level specifically, and then it kind of teeters back into, okay, he's a little bit more kind of poke, but there are a few levels on the Ziggs early that you can really get aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the advantages that Ziggs players have, being able to run the TP. The common occurrence, like you talk about being able to get that early mana item, right? And so then you just have the luxury of being able to spam your Q, and then you have much more control of the lane.
You want to build up towards that lost chapter as soon as you can, but for the moment, Noah and Jun have control of that lane. Razork pathing down towards the bottom side, Sheo pathing up. Should be spotted on this ward, or at least not quite spotted on the Razorbeaks. We'll see if he's able to avoid detection as he works his way around towards the red. Now, I mean, it depends how closely they were watching, really, doesn't it? If they spotted those couple of Razorbeaks dying at the end.
No pings, so at the moment I think he's relatively okay, but you're not like the only person I'm actually a bit worried about is Oscar, and I think he should be able to crash that wave there and then get a ward down to spot out. where Xiao's going to be, but I don't expect too much action in these early stages. I think it'll be more Razork, full clearing, get your initial grab, and then just back off and come back onto the map.
Brand really just wants to cycle through those camps as quickly as possible. He closed them so fast, especially when you start building up.
Ondrux! Thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you. Welcome back.
At the moment, Grab hasn't even spawned. 5 whole seconds for Razork to wander around, do nothing really, see if Shale perhaps is on this side of the map, which he's not.
If you wanted buff T1 for Worlds, what champs would you see in the next balance updates? Lee Sin. Well, I mean, they're already buffing like Azir Orianna. Lee Sin, Azir Orianna. Buff Hail of Blades again. That'd be good.
Ice is down a little bit of HP, not much.
Nerf Zeri.
Does have the flash. No ignite for LeBron
Buff
right
Tom
now.
Kench, Thresh, Jinx, Caitlyn, Lux.
Ice balls first though. Fnatic tank it perfectly. Razork's being locked up, still has the flash and will dash across the wall to escape. Adam dashes forward, gets one. Jun stunned up as well as Adam's looking for more. TB coming in as well. A little bit of HP, not much mana left in the tank either. Does have the flash.
All right, so we're trying to dive this. Camille is falling back to have a possible TP play here on the dive. But Adam is very late. That's okay. They can still get Razork. Nope, they can't. He has flash. Okay, Adam goes in, and Adam gets the kill. And now they're TPing Ice back into lane because he is. The thing is that Adam's gonna lose. What? Why are we going back in?
As it's Ice who's going to rejoin the party. Then is Blade going wide. Adam's still on the chase. Ice here for a little bit more action. Flash satchel, a possibility.
Oh, he just gets hit by Leon the Q and dies.
For the good of his ADC.
That works out really well for BDS. Adam had already got the push back out on top side, so he's not going to lose out a huge amount. Actually, nice freeze here from Oscar in for the moment, so we'll lose out in a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, 2 kills off the back of that. This Camille is so accelerated. Sheen picked up early. This is so good for those early trades for Adam.
One of the things we
All right, 2 kills on Adam's pretty huge.
BDS utilizing this top jungle combo. I was not expecting this and how they were going to use their top lane. Good early TP to try and mitigate the dive. Obviously, it's Jun to soak up that initial aggro. And
the thing is, Noah and Jun just overplay this. They also just don't respect the Zig CB. They could have just walked out and let him die, but instead they could have just walked out and let Brand die, but instead they go in and actually give up the second kill as well. Completely unnecessary.
So he doesn't really lose that much either. Means that Adam definitely makes this trip worthwhile.
Yeah, he's gone back on Sheen and a longsword. He is in heaven on the top side of the map. Oscar Rinin should be able to survive the pressure of Adam alone, but will be doing spending most of his time underneath that turret for the moment. Has the TP to get back. Adam might just look for plates, has Demolish, dashes away, didn't get the auto off in time. Oscar hits 6, and with that and the cannon wave going in, Oscar should be able to back.
Is Power Spike later? Power Spike's tomorrow.
Buffering the hook shot, so then even if he got knocked back, he would have been able to get out. So should be able to at least keep this pressure up. And I think that's actually Humanoid going to take a lot of hurt here. Nicely done by Nuke.
Humanoid has no TP as well. Like, he just got back into the lane with a blasting 1. So Nuke, using the fact that he crested over to level 6, using that powerful ultimate to chunk away, and he goes in. Humanoid though dashes him back with the Emperor.
Oh, nice play by Humanoid, man.
Using the fact that he crested over to level 6, using that
he hit 6 right off of this wave. He hits 6 off of that minion, so Nuke dashes in, Humanoid hits 6. It's actually a super nice play by Humanoid.
Humanoid absolutely nukes Nuke. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Jun and Noah are going to try and survive what is likely to be a dive here from BDS. Ice, Lebrov, and Sheo eyeing them up greedily under the tower. Zenith play it in. Lebrov tanking it, cleanse away by Noah. Noah falls first. Ice able to get 1. The response, Lebrov falling under the tower, and I don't think BDS will get any more.
Ultimately, a worthwhile trade, I think, for BDS. Look at how much farm is lost for Noah. At the very least, he is able to get a kill. So in terms of the gold, he's still in a pretty solid position. But that mid-play, Humanoid, once again getting the better of Nuke. We saw it on the Yone in Game 1.
Okay, also going to transition into Drake. 3 grubs over on the top side to Razork. Lebrov covering top as the wave crashes. Noah just inting.
Noah has no
kills.
So they take Drake, and I guess he doesn't respect that Sejuani could still be on that side of the map. He thinks Sejuani recalled.
Noah has no flash.
Instead, he just dies.
The Winter's Wrath will put him in his place on the top side of the map. Jun bolstered the attack from Razork and Oscar, but looks like Adam and Lavrov were able to get out safe.
They did manage to shove Adam back though, so will end up losing out of the wave. You're also going to see this top side taken. So Sheo not going to be able to get his top side.
What's my favorite podcast to do right now? The culture ones.
Here in trade for what's going to be a bit of a lead now for Ice Snap bottom.
Foreplay and Nerd Legion.
The gold advantage that Adam was able to gain on the bot side has been completely nullified. Look at that experience difference now.
That's the flash early. The Zenith Blade's going to chase him here. Nuke can start to collapse. Sheo can dash across the wall. The flash is also a possibility. Dashes first. Humanoid here to back him up. The Emperor's Divide, but another shield of Daybreak sends Razork packing. BDS 5-3 up.
Razork stuck around too long and good punish from BDS. Lavrov just able to clip him with that Zenith Blade, and again, more kills now going towards Adam. This Camille should be behind when you look at the CS, but she's just got so much gold off these kills.
So Noah gets picked in bot lane. On the top side, Razork's getting picked as well. I think Fnatic's idea behind the cross map is a solid play to try and deny some gold away from Adam, but they can't afford to be making these mistakes as BDS
doesn't have flash for the next Drake, which is up in 2.5 minutes. It's been a 3 grub for a Drake exchange so
because you've got the Ziggs, it makes it so easy to just execute those towers, and I think that's exactly what they're going to look for here as Sheo starts to move down. 2.5 plates is where you can use that satchel charger just under, so trying to see if they can get that last little bit of damage onto the spot lane turret and take it for the Ziggs.
So Sheo wasn't spotted on that ward because the sweep was already out. Even though he was in vision range, Jun's going to put the Unbreakable down. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out as well, but not too much damage with only a lost chapter. And that
I've only watched the first Star Wars movie and I thought it was just okay. Am I what do you mean by first Star Wars movie? Do you mean like The Phantom Menace? Because that movie's dog shit. Or do you mean like A New Hope? I mean, probably if you have just seen A New Hope for the first time, a movie that was released in 1977, you probably don't think it's that great. I mean, it's probably just mid. A lot of us like it because it has nostalgia.
Sneak up towards topside. I think Adam's aware of this though, hiding in the brush to see if he can see.
And because in the context of when it was released and in the couple decades after it was released, it was a fucking mega movie.
Talked about the CS discrepancy up towards that top side. Very Adam has felt the pain of that TP away, but 3 kills to the good. Can look for more here as
I mean, the Empire Strikes Back is fucking great. I watched Jurassic Park for the first time in 2023 and thought it was dog shit. That is a crazy take. Dude, Jurassic Park owns. What a great movie that is. All of the rest of the Jurassic Park movies suck, but the first one's good, man.
Starting to circle. Sheo on his way across as well. Nuke starting to work his way towards the top side. Oscar in and goes in with the Pathmaker. Shielded Daybreak for the stun. The Solar Flare.
Yes, Jurassic Park holds up really well. I watch it every few years. It's still a banger.
Sheo on his way across as well. Nuke starting to work his way towards the top side. Oscar in and goes in with the Pathmaker. Shielded Daybreak for the stun. The Solar for more here as Lavrov is starting to.
Wow, they're really trying to accelerate Adam. I mean, it makes sense. If Adam gets a lead here, nobody's going to be able to stop him in sides ever. So it's a pretty good win condition for him right now.
Locks Oscar in place. The all-out will buy him a second. But precision protocol from Adam's enough.
I'll show you my favorite Jurassic Park meme, by the way. Here, hold on. It's 30 seconds long. This is one of my favorite internet videos of all time, by the way. It slays me every time.
To Jurassic Park.
They do move in herds. I also love Sam Neill, man. What a great actor. I'm such a Sam Neill fanboy.
Secure the kill.
The play on the top side was great from BDS, but I loved watching Ice this whole time. Starts walking back to lane, but was like, if multiple members of Fnatic show up here, I'm teleporting top. And I think that's the sign of a team that's used to practicing with Ziggs, is how they use that teleport in the early stages.
Makes me laugh every time.
BDS going top side, Fnatic going to get some alone time on this mid lane turret.
shots and exchanges across the map. BDS continue to find these picks. On the top side, they're able to find that nice gank. They get the ghost out from Oscar. The Dragon now spawning in 30 seconds, resets coming through. Similar to what we saw in game 1. BDS very.
Do you see him in the Mouth of Madness? Hell yeah. We thought about doing that for the first 4-play arc, the Cosmic Horror. We'll get around to that one eventually. Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see. Sam Neill's best movie is Red Horizon. No. Event Horizon is really bad. Go watch our... I thought... I like, we all remembered it being kind of good, but we went back and watched it on 4Play, and we have an episode about it. It is... That movie is bad. Yes, I got blood alerted. You baited it.
Have the gold yet to complete an item, so it's just going to be a pickaxe of Amp Scepter and a bow and another little dagger for him. Nicole sitting at 30 stacks. Gold even between the two teams as BDS start to make their way down towards the bottom side. It's Ziggs in the mid lane, Ice answering the push that's come out from Humanoid so far. He TPs to bot lane though, and he's looking for a couple more plates.
Borderlands movie was Madam Web level bad. I know. We'll get around to that one on Nerd Legion when it hits streaming. I heard it has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
World where Ice can lean bot and just clear out that wave with his ultimate if needs to, but looks like he's going to hard focus on towards the mid lane, and BDS kind of realizing, look, a set first Dragon for Fnatic doesn't really mean too much. This is a composition that wants to be accelerated and hit a late game point with the Ziggs and the Camille, so focusing more on the gold for this one.
It's interesting how Fnatic just overstack the bot wave and completely abandon mid.
What are they going to do about this Camille, dude? The fact that the Camille is already on Trinity Force 4 kills is pretty scary.
And as you rightly said, BDS felt awkward trying to fight that, especially with BT being completed and Ziggs, the state that he's in. It's probably not something that you immediately want to try and force. So, okay, fair respect being given from the side of BDS, and ultimately, I would say a small win for Fnatic as they're able to secure the Dragon.
The battle as the game goes on is really about how big can Adam get and how big can Humanoid get. Who will be able to really chunk out the enemy backline during a fight where we see a slide and a glide in from Humanoid, the Faker special, his signature move across the course of his career.
Yeah, I expect an early Zhonya's or something along those lines for Humanoid, because again, he kind of has to be that playmaker here for Fnatic. It's really difficult for them to try and set up, especially for someone like Noah in these fights, unless you get that set up. So I think...
Okay, Camille's being given waves now to catch up in terms of XP. She's going bot side.
For Nuke with that ultimate, especially if, you know, the Glacial Tomb from Shale lands, the Solar Eclipse from Labrov lands.
Why are Nuke and Adam both in the bot lane? Riddle me this, guys. Why are our solo lanes together in the bot lane? We have 2 TPs. We have 2 count 'em TPs. There is no Drake coming up for 4 minutes, and we have our Lucian and our Camille together in the bot lane. Nobody catches this wave in top.
Before Fnatic can start a fight.
No, I was only going to say, my interpretation is that I think Fnatic value being on the objective first. We talked about in draft how I think that they like it when their opponents walk into them.
Dude, what the fuck is BDS doing?
Inherently like to face check. Yeah, good luck face checking Brand Braum. But if they're on an objective late, that means they have to find some sort of pseudo-engage. And speaking of an engage...
Solarflight only gets the slow. Labrov looking for Chun right now. They go for Razord instead. The Emperor's Divide comes out. Pyroclasm is bouncing. Labrov takes a chunk. Nuke now behind them as the team...
Speaking of an engage...
So we make that play. We don't get any waves in the top side. And then we all in the bot side into a Brand who just ults everybody.
Joining, sorry, from Adam has come. Both top laners are here on the bottom side, but like it's just the damage on Labrov chunks him out in the end. Not really too much happening apart from flashes burnt from the junglers.
All right, well, we both use TPs into the bot side, I guess, so cool. So we haven't accomplished anything, by the way. We haven't accomplished anything. The wave in top has just been untouched. Now Camille has to TP into the top side.
Just the passive doing so much work on the backside as well. He was very patient with the ultimate as well. He waited for BDS to start disengaging, and then basically this Bran ultimate...
I understood you only take Braum when the team has 2 ADCs? No. The Braum is good here into the Lucian, and it's also good into Leona.
Say the locket came through. I'm pretty sure they don't even have a locket.
No, they do. It's on such
yeah, sorry, yeah. I thought that was the... Yeah, that makes sense. Map as the lane priorities have shifted Notice how Fnatic continues to play around Humanoid, right?
Yeah, so Sejuani rushed lock it because she's playing into Brand. It did actually nullify a bunch of the Brand damage.
Where Noah was really the person they invested in a lot. And while we've seen a lot of early ganks from the bot side, as we enter the mid game, we saw it in game 1, them facilitating and playing around Humanoid on a side lane, and we're seeing it again here.
Dude, BDS's lane assignments have just been wacky. Like, Adam definitely sacrificed CS and XP to go bot side on that 4-minute teleport. But being down 30 CS is pretty bad. Like, he has 4 kills, but he's only 600 gold up.
Just to take down this tower. The satchel would be enough, not even going to use it until now. And there we go, the tower falls.
So that's the thing, Fnatic are spending time chasing BDS around the map, but Adam and Sheo know there's very few engage tools unless they face check Jun.
Hey, they face check Jun. But Adam can dash away, flashes
That's a
away
flash, all right.
Humanoid flashes to follow. Glacial Prison hits only onto Jun. Adam able to survive for now. It was a close one. But the Rift out stopped by Razork gives time for Nuke to work his way up from the bottom side of the map, and perhaps BDS will look at this as their next objective. Labrov still has a flash if he wants to get in. Adam, no TP. He's just back.
No, I have no TPs. They have no TPs from Labrov, and they're pushed in mid, so they kind of have to just give this up. But the thing is, Adam just continues to not get XP. Like, look how much XP Adam is not getting this game. Like, he's just not getting waves. He gets pushed out right there, and then he doesn't get the wave that's pushed into the turret. It goes to Lucian instead. So BDS just isn't getting any XP in the side waves.
Game here as well, because you see Nuke move up towards the top side to cover that wave, right? And then Ice backs. He has TP, so if Fnatic start to contest around this Rift Out, he can always take away. Fnatic could actually try and challenge this if they wanted. They have a numbers advantage if Humanoid moves down from top side.
I was going to shift across. You can look for a quick engage here if you want to, but Fnatic now in position, and again, I think BDS, while they do have the number of TP advantages, I think they haven't been using them as much as they'd like as Jun, actually.
That was just a really strange sequence to me, because I think if Nuke stays in top lane, then they're always going to have a man advantage, right? Because they can burn the TP in by the Ziggs, but Nuke backed away. I didn't see his health. Maybe he was just about to hit a spike or something and wanted that little bit of extra gold, but you kind of sell Sheo a little bit there.
Yeah,
Crimson Anarchy. Thank you very much for your Twitch Prime sub.
He can lean down
I appreciate you.
Because he's already hit the level 11 to clear the wave and create less pressure on the map for Fnatic. And I think that's where BDS have been missing out with the Ziggs, especially when you see like players like Jackie Love in the LPL. That's kind of what he's using a lot of the time, is that global to just get tempo on the map.
That's the first time we've seen Ice competitively on the Ziggs, so perhaps a few teething issues for BDS. Noah, well, there was a roundabout there, Betty, and he has to go around it to make sure that he can take the right exit.
Adam just on the freest flank of all time. So he just gets a free ult onto MF. Oh, but he gets stunned in the MF ult. Very good. Wait. Lol, look at that.
Well, there was a roundabout there, Betty, and he has to go around it to make sure that he can take the right exit.
This is hilarious. Cleanse, Noah backs out, ult. Adam dies. Shutdown goes to MF. What is everyone else doing in this fight from BDS? They just back up into the choke point, and then everybody runs away from MF ult. Okay. And then Nuke runs forward, dashes over the wall. And then he dashes into melee range of Braum, and Cassante gets carried over the wall and gets destroyed. Also, Sheo wastes his ult and misses Humanoid. Instead of, I don't know, ulting the choke point. Doesn't feel like ulting the choke point. He's got to go for the Hail Mary on an Azir. Yep. But honestly, like, what the fuck is Nuke doing in this fight? What the fuck is he doing? Noah is full HP. And he hops over the wall next to a Braum and a Cassante who has ult. Sheo also just throws his ult into Narnia.
Example of how hard it is to really dive this comp. This misfortune was flanked.
What? Is
So
it,
got
though?
chain CC'd by both the Camille and the Leona, and the Avengers descended immediately. All of Fnatic was there to provide that peel for Noah. The Braum peel was huge. The Cassante ultimate to take Lucian out of the fight. It's just like, you just can't touch Noah. And again, as we look at this fight, look at how much CC came down, but they just couldn't kill him.
Yeah, I think it was a lack of patience from BDS, though. You can play this slow, but you have one ultimate that's going on towards...
They're not set up for this play.
Razor, no follow-up from Ice. You've got another ultimate from the Camille going on towards Noah.
And why is the Lucian dashing over the wall?
Here from BDS, and that's where then Fnatic
And where was
very
Sejuani?
heal up, Jun getting in the way, Humanoid buying space, opening up.
Like, Sejuani isn't taking advantage of the fact that they're kiting back. He literally Qs and misses Humanoid with ult. Instead of, I don't know, hitting this right here. This Misfortune, that's free. This is actually a free ult.
Play this slow, but you have one ultimate that's going on towards Razor, no follow-up from Ice. You've got another ultimate from the Camille going on towards Noah. Ice doesn't have that ultimate to follow up, so you end up with a very split decision here from BDS, and that's where then Fnatic can play this very heavy peel up, Jun getting in the way, Humanoid buying space, opening up with that ultimate as everyone on BDS is funneling through that choke.
I mean, it's unfortunate to say, but this is a bit of a tale as old as time when it comes to BDS. When we look back at their previous series against G2, where they did full here in Game 2.
And, it's Locket Abyssal. If he's the one eating the Pyroclasm, Razork's using it incorrectly.
And he's also puts BDS in a very difficult spot now, where you're getting...
Moment BDS.
There. You can look that one up, Xpeke, the legend. So right now it's just a bit of a contest over the control of the bot side jungle. Ooh.
They're too tanky as well.
Yeah.
Gonna walk away from that one. The burn from the brand doing some work. Humanoid, his priority this series is just to be a side laner, and he has done an effective job. Oh, Razork needs to be careful.
Flash for him, he flashes away. Just in time to dodge the Glacial Prison. As you say, a collapse possible. If only Jun had flash right now, he could flash Glacial Fissure. He can't get in range to do it. And the collapse becomes not much as Humanoid now can push out the bot side. Adam's going to try and respond, but again, Fnatic are doing a really good job of shadowing Humanoid, making sure that he can never be collapsed on easily by BDS.
Yeah, basically what Fnatic are doing is drawing this portion of the map and saying this is ours. So if you're looking at BDS, they have to go the whole way around the back to try and defend, but you've got the fun little bit of a push. But I think this is what we'll see Fnatic continuously go for, and then you either get mid-turret or...
Crazy that Fnatic actually has a lead in this game and the Camille is useless. The side lane assignments have been so whack.
Just finishing his second Hydra now.
They're just not collecting farm.
No Rylai's yet.
BDS.
Really need it as much this game. The slow not... Making sure that's not the case at this stage. Jun tanks to die. He has a 250 gold bounty on his head, and as 1,000 years ago, one of our catchphrases for Humanoid was, in a side lane, Humanoid dies. Fnatic making sure that's not the case at this game. He's yet to
Interesting
die. He has
invade.
a 250 gold bounty on his head, and is 1,000 gold ahead of a nuke in that mid lane. BDS trying to collapse, but Fnatic are just escorting the President away. Jun tanks it. Glacial Prison.
Why are we engaging on a Braum?
Down to about half HP. There's the culling. Razork falls first, so does Jun, but Humanoid survives.
I guess it doesn't matter because there's no TP on Oscar and MF isn't there, so it actually ends up being a nice pick. Okay, well played. BDS get Baron, surely.
Crucial in this fight.
All out Emperor survived. And the bullet time could be enough here for Fnatic. The Baron down to 5,000. Lebrov is flanked all the way around, but spotted on a ward now. There's the bullet time. Adam on the front line! Noah gets it somehow! Noah gets it! Baron down to 5,000. Lebrov is flanked all the way around.
Are you serious?
Spotted on a ward now. There's the bullet time. Adam on the front.
Are you fucking for real? Sheo literally slams his fucking pig's head into a wall. What is he doing? What is he doing? He has smite.
Adam on the front line! Noah gets it somehow! Noah gets it! Nuke falls off.
That is actually a harder smite than it looks because Oscar did some damage to the Baron, so it did burst pretty hard, but it's still inexcusable.
That same luxury is afforded boarded to ice. He's collapsed on by Noah and by Oscar and put on ice himself. Sent to the morgue by Fnatic. A Baron at their backs.
What the hell just happened? I looked
Mondarius! Thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you. LEC is such a shit show. True story, my friend. Was that 3 HP? Yeah, it went from 1200 to 400 to 3 or something like that.
And the way that he used it, he found such a good angle. I think his goal was to just do as much damage as possible. But the fact...
So they actually attack it here. Like, they get... Somebody deals a bunch of damage to this thing besides MF. Right? I guess it may have... No, it wasn't Camille. You can see it does go to like 12 to 300 and then to 3 really quickly, though.
I mean...
Got it. You still have to smite that.
I think he just killed it. He just straight up killed the Baron and said thanks for that, team. And in a 3 versus 5, Fnatic
Ziggs passive? That's possible, yeah.
And the Baron buff.
I mean, that's one for Hawkeye to have a look at. Because, like, is that in, is that out? That was close. It's, I wonder if the Zeke's convergence as well from Oscar in helped out a little bit. You can see dismay.
I'd be pretty pissed, too.
The Drake secured.
Our BDS is playing really badly.
Especially with both side laners for BDS pushing, means that they can just crack open the mid lane structure. Shay was sitting off to the side, but he's going to have to abandon this moment. Fnatic, they've just fully taken this game by the horns.
Weird one, for sure. I was expecting all good first humanoid line. She's working for
Oscar in
staff or some other magic penetration item, and Fnatic knocking on the base once again.
TP coming in, Oscar in. They really want to hard force this down, and BDS aren't in position.
They just can't get close enough right now. It would be a Glacial Prison thrown at arm's length from Sheo to try and find a pick, but Jun's there on the front line alongside Oscar in the inhibitor tower in the top lane already gone. Inhibitor short to follow as Noah cracks it down.
And Oscar in just set up a slow push on the bottom side as well, right before he teleported in, so Fnatic can now go down. Adam going to try and beat them to the punch.
Right onto Razor. Items ahead of Adam. His are sizably cheaper, of course, but in a strong position as Nuke.
All right, here comes Sheo and Adam. Here comes the flankety flank. All right, they hit Razork, but Jun is there. All right, but the thing is, Razork got his ult off, so it doesn't matter. Holy shit, that damage. Holy shit. Look at this damage. Especially because the Sand Soldiers are, like, Humanoid repositions the Sand Soldiers. Holy shit, they don't even kill Razork. Wow, what a weird game.
The safe bet, as we've talked about on the desk. Is there anything in the band you guys want to see?
Well, I'm very curious why they've chosen the red side once.
All right, bathroom time. All right. Surely someone will take Aurora now. I know, right? All right, the punishment will continue, guys. Zeri banned the Rel, just perma-banned the series, even though Jun is good on it. Oh, priority on Nidalee through the roof now that MF is magically banned. Should we pick Aurora Rumble? Probably not, because the sweet furry, it's furry jungler meta. We got to pick the sexy furries, and maybe a sexy snake lady.
Yeah, and I wonder if we're gonna see these cheeky level 1s with Lilia, because I remember when she was meta 2020, it was always a fight for
red 1-2 to
Just a Yordle instead. I mean, I would play the Yone again into this if I can just win lane for free against a Corki. Oh, we're back to Adam Orning in the top side. Adam's getting orny.
5 AD carry bands, maybe even 6 now, and it's gonna be hard to look into finding a strong scaling AD carry that can also be good in lane. You kind of have to choose that.
Yes, I think it's time. LeBron was the OG Thresh King. No, he wasn't the OG Thresh King. But this is definitely...
All right, so they take the Jhin. Remember, Ice played a lot of Jhin in his debut, where he was playing more setup ADCs like Ashe and Jhin, so it's pretty normal for him and for BDS.
They go, scaling AD carry. Corki's gonna hit some of those notes. Is Jhin Corki
Trying to play a range game here. Could work for BDS. Okay, so we're just going to play Kai'Sa Rakan into it.
Giving the last coming time to kind of avoid the Nidalee, because I think if Nidalee goes to 20 minutes and it's even, I think the Lilia is the jungler you'd rather have in your team.
On the side of Fnatic, what are we looking at here in the early game? Is it absolutely smart?
The upper bracket match, along with, of course, the ability to call yourself the LEC champion.
Love that this tiny little venue in Berlin is what's actually hosting all the Swiss stage for Worlds. Love that. Love that.
Because they've already qualified for Worlds.
Yes.
In the past, because our top 3 would qualify, a win here could also qualify you into Worlds. But that's not exactly the case. Depending on the results. I'm not going to go into all those results right now, but basically, because G2 have already qualified, just getting top 3 doesn't necessarily guarantee you a spot at Worlds.
Yeah, because if G2 lose...
Yep, baby Dougie. Right? So they're using the LEC studio for all of play-ins and all of Swiss stage.
But also, winning this, depending on how results go, could definitely increase your chances.
I think it will. Sure.
Can't wait for Riot to tell us how they're investing more in League of Legends esports than they ever have. I mean, they're investing more in their extremely bloated staff and executive suite than they ever have. And these guys make such excellent decisions, such as single elimination for Worlds. Why call it a Swiss stage if it's held in Germany? Well done, the Kiggles. That's a funny joke.
I would imagine Razork is going to move down to his bottom side, because what we saw the last...
Well, as we know, the answer is because the Swiss are just German collaborators. So it's basically the same thing. You know what I mean?
The last time we brought it to Nidalee was going for this very quick gank topside on towards BB in that game 5 of the upper bracket, and then able to get that early kill and run away with it. But
you know, if your country's role is basically just facilitating the Germans whenever they need it, no matter what the Germans are doing, it's the German Swiss all the same.
So more than likely it'd be full clear for the Nidalee, and then maybe look for a playoff of next time your camps are spawning up towards that top end.
Interesting to see a leash here from Ice and Lebrov. We're able to get here in time to catch that minion, but it just accelerates Sheo's path through the jungle when you get level 2. When you get that watch out Eep, you have a lot more single target damage, so be able to,
I never knew the Swiss were Nazis. I mean, technically they weren't, but in spirit, you know, when you help them, when you speak German and you help the Nazis, does that make you a Nazi? I don't know. I'm not an expert.
was
chilling on your
I was
chilling
actually,
on the sofa.
I was actually just very entertained by watching Labrov just yeet people with his stuff, and I was just kind of just quietly enjoying that to myself.
You do see lane priority though. You can see Noah already at 13 CS. There is a stacked wave up here, so Ice will be able to get some of that back, but it's not going to be an 8 CS catch-up. That's what the differential is right now. Extends to 9.
The surprising one for me is Humanoid having that push in mid, so I think that may have been intentional from Nuke to let him get that push, which is why we're seeing Jun now lean up towards this mid lane to just guarantee this gets pushed in. You can see Humanoid taking a little bit of punishment from Nuke every time, so hopefully as Jun pushed up mid, Nuke backs off, but I think Nuke still has a good spot to just freeze this and put pressure on towards a potential Sheo gank.
Sheo will be spotted as he goes towards the tri-bush, past his Krugs if he does decide to path that way. Razork's caught up in jungle pathing. Sheo actually working his way past his red buff bush. It looks like with the push in mid, Humanoid and Razork are both going to step towards the top side. Sheo jungle pathing.
Sheo just on a quality face check mission.
Bush. It looks like with the push in mid.
Yeah, should I cover this, guys, or should I, when I have no, let's see here. Be Sheo. Let's see. Do I have lane priority? No. Should I be doing this crab at spawn? Nah, you know what's more fun? Face checking this brush and losing my flash.
The top side, Sheo caught out, flashes immediately. Humanoid dashes across the wall. The chase continues as Sheo falls.
Yep.
First blood. Razork trying to hit the
Shout out to BDS for picking 3 losing lanes also. Now, you might be saying, but Monty, Corky doesn't lose into Yone, but the answer if you're Nuke is it does. So they actually did pick 3 losing lanes.
I mean, the timing was just perfect there from Fnatic.
There's a vision plant right there. There is. You guys are absolutely right. There is a vision plant. Why would you use Scryer's Bloom, though, when you can die? Good observation, guys.
Escape to fight another day, but first blood to Fnatic.
I mean, the timing was just perfect there from Fnatic. I think that Sheo, the idea is, oh, my mid wave is pushed in, let me head over, maybe I can alleviate some of that pressure, maybe I can interrupt the base from Humanoid. He was not expecting both Razork and Humanoid to just be lying away in that bush, and to his credit, he respect flashes immediately. He doesn't hesitate, he doesn't take the gamble, but they just collapse over the wall. Nidalee, Yone have that type of mobility. The fact that first blood goes over to Humanoid, one of the worst champions that you could give it to in the early game.
100%, yeah, double scuttle as well. Double buffs for Humanoid, double scuttle for Razork if he wants it. Actually started pathing up towards the top side, went out.
Oh, he's going to hit this, the cheeky spear. Oh, he's dead. Why did Nuke flash? Why did Nuke? Nuke cannot survive that. If he's been tagged, he can't live through that. He tries to flash after the leap has occurred, but the auto attack is already registered. Nuke dies and he uses flash. God damn, Nuke is playing like an absolute ultra dumpster. Razork flashed. Yes, it was. Razork flash. Nuke still has flash. Yes, I know how it works. Look at this. So what happens is we get the spear down. We get the mark, the Nidalee mark, right? Goes into Cougar form, flashes, and then he flashes afterwards. But if the damage is already, if you're 1 HP,
actually started pathing up towards the top side, went out of vision, then went back down towards bottom.
Like if you're 1 HP, you're gonna die.
He tries to flash, he can't dash those claws. Razork gets on the board, 2-0 Fnatic.
Razork's Nidalee's real, man. This is the second time now we've seen this brought out, and he has looked fantastic on it. And the fact that Humanoid now has red buff, specifically in this mid lane as well, is huge.
An ultra dumpster. Is that like a dumpster that you put other dumpsters into? Yep. You fill a dumpster with used diapers, and then you put 10 of those dumpsters inside another dumpster, and then you cover the smaller dumpsters with shit. And that's the ultra dumpster. That is Nuke.
Because completely right. It was game 5 against Fnatic in the upper bracket final where he locked in the Nidalee. We saw the first pick Renekton, and we were baffled, and he made it work to perfection, and it was off the back of these very early ganks. While criticism has been levied towards Fnatic ability to
Is Nuke the ultra dumpster? Is he the ultra bum in the ultra dumpster?
He knows how to use a lead on Nidalee, and we're going to get to see him do it once again.
That's funny.
Starting down towards the bottom side. Shale,
He is having a shockingly bad series though.
in his blue side quadrant, only the Krugs available to him.
But it's okay. I'm sure he's going to go to Worlds and show us that how much of a world-class mid laner he really is. That's what's going to happen, guys. This is excusable. He'll go to Worlds and be amazing, though. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine.
No fight coming from Fnatic.
Humanoid just ulted in the mid lane, though. Didn't end up connecting with it, it looks like, on towards Nuke, so Nuke could have started to play a little bit more aggressive. But now on the bot side,
Above, able to keep Jun at bay for the moment. Takes half his health, uses the Drake as a taxi away, and it is secured.
Nothing bad could happen from this Yone being 800 gold ahead at 6 minutes into this game.
Of Fnatic. Oscar in looking for a plate here. Call of the Forge God coming out. There's the first brittle proc, the second into the Dominus, and Oscar will survive by popping an ult of his own.
We now have to turn our attention to the Krugs, because the reality is that Xiao has the ability to go back to base. I say that Razork actually went back to base first. He's already back out onto the map. The pings are coming down from BDS. It's Humanoid that has control over this wave for the time being. A very healthy lead he's been able to find. You have to credit a lot of that to the double buff that he was sitting on not too long ago. Oscar, though, with the push, committing his ultimate. Yeah, looks like BDS making the smart call. They're too slow to respond. They recognize they're not going to be in a position, and Razork just leveraging the mobility and clear speed of this Nidalee to secure the grubs uncontested.
also the fact he's cleared his bot side jungle means there's little that Shale can kind of do to invade, look for something. Maybe you can get some vision down to spot out where Razork is, but not really a big option. Oscar in though, not having that ultimate means they're a little wary of going for the dive against Adam, especially with flash up and available for him. So I think it'll be more Razork moving back into his own jungle, resetting, and then going out to pick up his red as he spawns on the bottom side.
Makes the most sense. Still want to be farming up on that Nidalee. Get yourself up towards your first item. Faded Ashes and the Haunting Guys sitting in his inventory. Oscar in once again looking for plates here. Needs a chunk of damage from Adam. Call the Meek. We'll get him a bit of healing back. Razork on this side of the map, but Adam holds the wave outside of tower. Jun dashed forward onto Humanoid. The grand entrance coming out as well. Humanoid took about, two...
I mean, the 1-3-1 pressure is going to be immense this game with the Renekton and the Yone being so far ahead. We'll see if Fnatic can get up to 6 grubs though. If they can get one more grub, they're going to be in an extremely good position in this game. They can kill Adam. Maybe Adam has no ult. He's dead. Oh, nice play though.
Back towards Oscar. Adam's going to try and jump away, but the spear connects through the Ruthless Predator to stun Adam.
Oscar shouldn't have gone back in here.
Bouncing back towards Oscar. Adam's going to
He chose to slice and dice in here.
the spear connects through the Ruthless Predator to stun Adam. Still able to put the clap back down on Oscar and Razork will get his second of the game, a 1-for-1 exchange.
I mean, best case scenario really there for Adam. That was a situation where Fnatic shouldn't have been able to find a very easy pick, but he's able to at the very least get something back. The big problem is, look at this Nidalee, 1.2k gold lead for Razork. He's just continuing to snowball out of control. BDS though, gathering around mid, looking at hold on to control around this wave. They need to go back and catch that wave bot though. I guess they want to make sure that Nuke can get this push in.
Good damage from Humanoid. You can see Lilia for Shao trying to hit with the bowling ball on towards Humanoid as he dashed back towards his soul and bound, but doesn't end up connecting. So BDS moves to force back. Noah gets the push on bot. So you're seeing the waves getting shoved in very quickly for Fnatic, which means they'll be back out onto the map, can then look to push out waves, the next 2 or 3 waves when they get back as well, and then look towards 2 minutes on Drake, 2 minutes on Void Grubs.
I miss you and Papa, Smithiest casters of the LCK. You don't have to miss me. I still do a lot of VOD reviews of LCK games, so.
I mean, honestly, I think if you're a Fnatic fan,
did some yesterday.
Based on the series that we've seen, game 1, we saw them.
In fact, I've probably done more VOD reviews of LCK games than I would have done if I was still casting the LCK with the caster rotation they have right now, so you don't really have to worry about that. Did you watch the new MonteCristo movie? Oh my god, there's a new MonteCristo movie?
flashback.
I know about the one from 2002, which the first half, the Guy Pearce one. 2024. Who's in it? Oh, it's a French movie. Yeah, check it out. The problem is they always make him fall in love with Mercedes at the end. You know what I mean? So they always fuck up the entire theme of the movie. It honestly needs to be 2 movies. That's the problem. Or more. Or a mini-series. 42 million euro budget. That's very expensive for a European movie. Interesting. I'll watch it when it can be streaming. Luckily, Monty has been upping his French skills with Babbel just for this movie. Very good. True. Dabren, just please tell me, do they make him fall in love with somebody at the end? Because the whole point of the book, the whole point of his character is that he doesn't have a love interest. Basically, Mercedes falls in love with his nemesis, one of the men who puts him into jail, and he's like incapable of love.
It's very obnoxious. Razork with good control over the bot side river.
It actually needs a mini-series, what it needs. It needs like 8 one-hour episodes. I mean, the book is like 1,500 pages long, guys. There's a million subplots, and that's what part of what makes it fun is all the subplots.
Razork can pounce forward, or just go for the smite. Smite into those claws is enough to get him another camp off the map.
Full 2 level? No, it's about a level and a half difference between them.
Watching this in 2014. Thank you, OF.
1.5k gold lead now for the cat.
Look at the amount of vision that was set up behind BDS here. It makes it very, very difficult for them to really try and play in towards this dragon. Thank you, observers. You can see it there. Like, if you're trying to contest dragon, it's nigh on impossible. So Fnatic, with these resets, should be able to get it back out and look towards that push. But you see where Razork is in the map. He's moved back up to clear his top side. So imagine going to walk back through mid to...
Is the Guy Pearce one, he seems that way for like 2/3 of the movie? What do you mean he seems that way? The 2002 MonteCristo is actually very good and very faithful up until, so basically the entire like Chateau d'If prison sequence is really good in that movie. Basically until he basically gets out of prison, that movie is really, really good. It's what happens after that is shit. It's when they deviated from the source material that that movie gets bad.
Get his item, but he needed a few extra waves, so now he decided to back. You can see him now making his way onto the map, and Razork's like, you know what? I got camps top side. My clear speed is super fast. I can grab these, and honestly, they might even be in a position to contest as well. TP is available for Oscar. Humanoid, he's a little low on HP. He probably has
Daniel, what did you think of my my Star Wars spreadsheet?
Nuke had to go back to base as well. He was completely out of mana, so he's got a TP back in. Adam is now going to TP back in, so it looks like it's going to be give up on Dragon entirely.
My chat looked at the Star Wars game spreadsheet and they thought that it wouldn't actually take 1,000 hours. All right, so they got all the grubs. They got all the grubs because they have mid lane pressure that they shouldn't have in this matchup. So Razork just pops over the wall, gets the grubs.
I think it's just a reset timer thing. No one wanted to go back to base, get his item, but he needed a few extra waves, so now he decided to back. You can see him now making his way onto the map, and Razork's like, you know what? I got camps top side, my clear speed is super fast, I can grab these, and honestly, they might even be in a position to contest as well. TP is available for Oscar. Humanoid, he's a little low on HP, he probably has an item that he's close to securing as well, so maybe they're just happy to concede that.
Yeah, Nuke had to go back to base as well. He was completely out of mana, so he's got a TP back in. Adam is now going to TP back in, so it looks like it's going to be give up on Dragon entirely, and they're going to look for the dive on Adam.
BDS not going for the Drake either.
Did you include Rebel Assault 2 for PS1? Shadows of the Empire? Of course I did. As well as Dark Forces and Master. You can just look at it. Yes. Every Star Wars game. Every Star Wars game released for PC or major console. Every one. Sahan, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. It seems like a lot of work. 1,000-hour commitment is a lot. Well, yeah, I know.
Adam, he's already been hit by a spear, as you can see, chunked out on that health bar. Call of the Forge coming out.
Are you excited about editing it? That's the real question.
Adam trying to dash away. There's so much damage on him, but he's able to turn it around to Oscar. A one-for-one exchange in the top lane once again.
And he got the majority of the way. Thanks to
John Magnum, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you.
Keeping the top side even, but Razork a 1,700 gold lead. He's going to start roaming that down towards Dragon. He's sitting on a lot of gold, but so maybe Fnatic don't want to overextend for that. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 1,000 hours. I think that is an overestimate. But even if it takes 750 hours, it'll still probably take me almost a year.
Towards Dragon, he's sitting on a lot of gold, but so maybe Fnatic don't want to overextend for that.
I mean,
he's in such a good spot.
Credit to Adam individually. I think that he's played pretty well in the situations that he's been thrown himself into.
Yeah.
But in the context of the greater game, Razork finds himself with 3-0-1. The Dragon starting off.
I mean, this is really bad for BDS. They think they can do this easily, but Oscar has TP and Adam does not. So if Fnatic decide they want to take this fight, it becomes very tricky for BDS. Fnatic aren't going for it, and unfortunately...
No, I don't think there's enough setup there. Fnatic also has enough of a lead. It doesn't matter if BDS gets the Drake, because it's not really going to help them, and they could just go for the next one. Also, it's Chemtech Soul, so it doesn't matter.
Back into mid lane, basically, as the Dragon was falling. We look back at this top lane play. The TP comes through, initial spear lands, good damage, of course, from Razork. Then, as you noted, Medic, Adam uses his ultimate to try and clear out the wave as quickly as he can. He's able to thin this out. Oscar takes a lot of damage, but we're back to live.
Humanoid caught out. Jumps away with a Fate Seal, but he's going to have a quick nap. For a second, can dash back, but it won't buy him much time. He flashes the wall. The shield from Jun. Humanoid dashes back.
Oh, my God.
With a Fate Seal, but he's going to have a quick nap. For a second, can dash back, but it won't buy him much time. He flashes the wall. The shield from Jun. Humanoid dashes back in. But Sheo puts him to a final sleep. BDS get their third on the board.
I'm not really sure what Humanoid was doing there.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, I thought he'd just go bot to clear out the wave. It looks like they're trying to swap where Humanoid was positioned.
I just saw we have Connect Star Wars on the list. Of course it's a must. I have to get an Xbox 360 and Connect, though. But you can get functional Xbox 360s and Connects for like $50 total. So
either way, he ends up dying for it. Red buff tried to be stolen by Razork.
what is this Star Wars karaoke?
Level 11 now. That
highest level in the game.
That is quite a strong... Oh, we're going to get a POV. Oh, yeah. So you called it. He's just rotating towards bot lane, but he's not allowed to go this way.
Yeah, it's a really green card.
What the heck? He's just in river?
After getting knocked back by Lebrov, walking back forward into it.
I'm going this way, Lebrov, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. And then the rest of his team go, are you sure about that? Yeah, so he dies. Big mistake there.
When you can't kill the mobs around the big boss, maybe don't try and force your way into that area, you know?
Humanoid being matched by Adam down towards the bottom side. Fnatic still
Doesn't matter because he still wins every side lane fight.
The Fort God being used by Adam. Humanoid dodges it with the
Easy dodge.
Yeah, play the Rune King. It's a very nice spike for Yone. And,
Hilarious that Humanoid did waste flash there, yeah. There is a Star Wars karaoke on Connect? No, there's not. No, that's Connect Star Wars. That's not karaoke, that's the dancing one. That's not karaoke. You linked me the Star Wars Connect dancing game. Do you know what karaoke is? This is not karaoke. This is a dancing game. I'm disturbed that you don't know what karaoke is. But you could also sing it. I mean, you have to dance. That's the point. And yes, I will do this game. You have to dance because the game is dancing. The game is not singing.
Be careful about the sound shot. Nicely done.
Guys, Adanian, the elephant editor, doesn't know what karaoke is. That's what we've learned. Do you have any insights on cooking bacon? It makes such a mess. Yeah. So what you do is you can buy like a screen, like a hoop with a mesh screen, and you put that on top of your pan, and then it doesn't make a mess anymore.
Be careful about the tower shot. Nicely done.
You would have just dashed in there. Didn't get an auto attack down on the tower.
So basically, it allows the air through, but the mesh catches the grease, so it doesn't fly everywhere.
Got it. Suboptimal, but still fine. As Adam was able to clear out the wave. Did of course have to burn that Call of the Fort got earlier on. Fnatic out to almost a 4.
My mom always puts paper towels to do that. Yes, you put it on a plate.
We'll be able to rip through Adam if they are isolated in a 1v1 and there's no tower to defend the Ornn.
So with no real objectives on the map, teams now turn to things like the side lane out of towers. For BDS, you could look at top side, for example. You can build up a slow stacked wave with the top wave, slowly invest your vision on towards the top side of the map, and cross-map that tower for a bot one, which is the one that Fnatic is likely setting their sights on. Mid used to be a high priority target, but at this point in the time, you shift your 80 carries towards mid lane.
You want to get a splatter screen.
So it's a difficult objective to siege. And then the question from the teams becomes, do we cross-map or do we fight? And based on the positioning of BDS, it looks like that they're here to try and stop the siege coming through from Fnatic. You can see them looking to try and push in mid, get control over the bot side vision.
It's a grease screen, I think it's called.
Yeah, it looks like trying to compete for this bottom wave, but they will eventually...
Splatter screens, that's what it's called. Get one of those. I would also suggest you guys get into cosplay for these dancing ones. I have to do cosplay the whole time. I feel like cosplay is mandatory for the whole stream.
It looks like trying to compete for this bottom wave, but they will eventually have to send someone on towards that top side. I think that's where this plan is going to fall apart for BDS. So Fnatic can shift Humanoid down. They're shifting Noah now as well, just using the fact they have that wave push, and now they can overload this bottom side of the map.
Yeah, because typically, as Dagda was just saying, the way that you would force your way in is by using numbers, right? So you overstack, you put 1 mid, you bring 4 bot, and then you move as 5 in towards the bot side jungle once you got that mid push. But because they have the Herald,
Sexy Twilight Noah win.
They kind of do whatever they want, and Fnatic, they have a nice top push, they've got push in mid, they're actually going to use that pressure on bot to unlock mids.
Nice getting chased out, Call of the Fortune coming out from Adam as they look for Razork. The tower still standing for the moment. Quickness out by Jun. Razork able to buy it.
Push 4 bot, push in
Alright, so we're trying to use the Herald in mid lane.
Coming out from Adam as they look for Razork. The tower still standing for the moment. Quickness out by Jun. Razork able to buy a second.
We're desperately trying to escape this. Jin ult is going to make that impossible. BDS collapse on the mid lane, but there's... Okay, so we're pushing super aggressively when our solo laners are just inside lanes and don't feel like TPing to cover. So we have a 4-man, 5-man now in mid as Nook comes up, but you're trading mid tower tier 1. We get 2 kills, but we're trading mid tier 1 and bot tier 1 for this play, so that's probably just beneficial for Fnatic, honestly.
Drop bot tier 1 in lieu of saying, hey, we can overload the mid lane instead and try and catch Fnatic with our numbers advantage. It does mean, though, that they lose both towers in response.
Now, Fnatic didn't have to do that, but honestly, this is a good trade for Fnatic regardless.
My initial read on that play was over-eagerness from Fnatic, a degree of hubris where I want to see the replay just so that I can... Because I wonder if that wasn't over. Because I'm like, why is Razork this deep, right? And so we'll kind of look at the map. Say, so they're on vision. You can see the collapse coming through.
Razork is being silly though.
They should see Adam as well. So I just think
they should know where everybody is, and they get bonked by this.
Nice play from Jun to charm up Ice, but yeah, bit of an overstep.
Sheo doesn't win this. Sheo's dead.
So low, the looting lullaby going out is dodged by Humanoid. Bait sealed gets him out to safety. Oscar winning, trading onto Nuke now. Just needs a couple more auto attacks. Can he get in range? Adam trying to keep him at bay. Nuke dodging away, but the Call of the Meek puts him in his place.
Okie dokie. We used... BDS used 2 TPs for this. They TP'd Nuke in during the replay, and then we're TPing here again. So they trade 2 TPs for 1 TP, and they lose 2 members. So another excellent trade by BDS.
Puts him in his place. Oscar in and finds another. Kaiser collapsing as well. Noah has that killer instinct. The spear going wide, and Noah dashing in now. Adam down to half HP. Jun here as well. BDS wiped away in the top.
All these waves in and control the map.
See, you're running into the problem that we talked about in game 1. Who deals with Yone? It's one of the reasons why he is becoming such a strong pick. His laning is not that bad, and he gets to a point around one item, really, where he can just outduel most people. And so
Well, you know, we don't always just feed him first blood for no reason because our Lilia walks into mid lane, and we don't always just have 3 winning lanes where Razork is 2,000 gold up on an AP jungler and just nobody who can split push on the enemy team. Like, I feel like maybe just losing all your lanes is really the problem here for BDS.
overall gold lead, and they're likely going to get their first dragon of the game.
Imagine.
Can't do anything. Defeats by a pawn.
Okay, we just 1-3-1 forever now, surely.
And then Razork has the ability to just kind of play around whoever he wants.
I mean, Jun's just used his dash. Noting Lullaby coming out, the quickness will get him as far away as possible as Adam dies in the bottom lane. Jun trying to escape.
Play around whoever he wants.
I mean, Jun's just used his dash. Noting Lullaby coming out, the quickness will get him as far away as possible as Adam dies in the bottom lane. Jun trying to escape.
Spend 10 years killing a Rakan and then lose your bot laner and lose your tier 2 in bot side. Very cool play from BDS.
Ultimately, a surprising series given how dominant Fnatic have been. We look back at this play from the bot side of the map. And,
Oh my god, I can't believe that spear hit.
Connect. Ultimate comes through, and just the damage from the duo is too much for Adam to deal with.
I mean, it's also Adam using Bellows Breath when he sees Nidalee's nearby on a ward, right? You're going to get locked up immediately afterwards if you hit the Q3 on the Yone, or if you hit the Fate Sealed, so perhaps a little bit
performance
game of final. Well, up.
Yeah, they're going to have to fix a lot.
The fact that they can best use the poke lines.
Continues to push, but Nuke's here to close in. There's the Baron taken by Fnatic, and Humanoid's looking to take the life of Nuke. Or the Baron, Oscar's still in the box.
What is Humanoid doing now?
Continues to push in.
Actually, have no idea.
Oh, he's just pretending to int while they take Baron. Very good.
In the end, Sheo gets the kill, but
A clever ruse.
With the 6 grub.
It's massive point of pressure top. 4 tested.
The answer is yeah. Just get the visions. Just be.
The game's surely over now. Sucks for them that they didn't get Baron on Humanoid because he died, but because like obviously having him on have it with the split push would be powerful, but it's fine. He still wins anyway.
Siege towards his way towards that. The spear.
So far, Thornmail, Sunfire Cave, and now lane transition to pressure this tower once again. Next wave in top is coming in soon. Rob just using the combo to try and clear out that wave a little bit quicker. 10,000 gold the lead now for Fnatic, and that utterly different. Fnatic basically have been in control for the majority of the series.
Yeah, and again, I wouldn't say that, but they were able to ultimately find good execution on the fight, and they were getting picks left, right, and center. Wanted to see a stronger version of Fnatic.
Any plans on reviewing the dumpster fire that was G2 versus MDK? That's tomorrow, buddy.
And I think that they've showed that today.
On the opposite side, though, for
We will do that
BDS,
tomorrow.
a lot of their fights, but to the
I will subject myself to the dumpster fire tomorrow.
A bit of an identity crisis for the side of BDS, which surprises me because I felt like Nuke ultimately did have some needed this series, and that's not to say that it's entirely been his fault. BDS haven't been able to really find many big team fight wins in their favor, but yeah, back to the drawing board will be the situation for BDS, assuming this game find an avenue.
As of his way, Mitch. Got a couple of wards of their own. Drake up in a minute's time, Baron in 30 seconds. But Fnatic are just, you know, going to take away this Gromp, take away another camp, suffocate, as you say, Vetti Sheo out of the camp.
A bunch of poke to a bunch of AoE/CC. It's incredibly difficult. They're getting some semblance of control here back on top side.
But when it comes to sieging towers, you know, Nidalee ranged auto attacks and a Kaiser there as well. They can split push, but there's enough wave clear on the side of BDS to try and catch those waves.
I haven't tuned in ages and been rewatching the old worlds. You look almost the same. I know, I don't age.
Humanoid push in bot, get the in hit, but as soon as they get the Baron,
The skill vampire was me the whole time.
a lot easier for them.
You do have to be careful of grouping up as Fnatic, because that engage is still very threatening for BDS. Adam into a flash follow from Lebrov, so trying to keep BDS separated and look more for a
I will say Dad Minty, I weigh a lot more than I did at Worlds.
Hey, look, you've got poke with Noah and Razork, just play it out that way, but that's when you're most vulnerable against this composition from BDS.
Here I am in the last 10 years, been 100 plus pounds and no hair. My hair has not changed. And I've gained weight too. My voice is much different? I don't know about that. When does 100 Thieves play? Never. The green screen helps. I don't know how the green screen helps, but how does it help? Your voice has definitely gotten deeper. Might just be the mic. Maybe it's because I have more mass for it to resonate within. I probably weigh 25 more pounds now. 30 more pounds, something like that.
The extra tankiness of those minions. Triple inhib down. Add them up in 13 seconds time. BDS still holding on to hope in this series, but the hope's sure to be extinguished soon, I'm sure. Humanoid flashes away there. Could have been knocked up by LeBron. The first Nexus Tower has
10 years, almost only 30 more pounds. Yeah, and it's 30 pounds of muscle. It's all muscle, baby. It's not fat. All that whiskey slowly deepening Monty's voice over time. Hell yeah.
Fnatic just doing it by the numbers. Call of the Forge God. The curtain call comes out as well, but there's no on-call.
No, it actually is all muscle. That's not it. That's not an exaggeration. It's not a joke. It is. That weight is from kickboxing and weightlifting.
Just doing it by the numbers. Call of the Forge God. The curtain call comes out as well. Those minions. Triple inhib down. Add them up in 13 seconds time. BDS still holding on to hope in this, but the wave play from BDS just doesn't get through the extra tankiness of those minions, powered minions, right? Like obviously when you kill Adam it becomes easier to push into the base as well, but the wave play from BDS just doesn't get through the extra tankiness of those minions. Triple inhib down. Add them up in 13 seconds time. BDS still holding on.
What a terrible series this was. Just almost unbelievably bad. Especially this last game was just so pathetic. I mean, look at these leads. They even have a 2,000 gold support lead.
You kill Adam, it becomes easier to push into the base as well. But the wave play from BDS just doesn't get through the extra tankiness of those minions. Triple inhib down. Add them up in 13 seconds time. BDS still holding on to hope in this series, but
dude, Nuke played the worst series I've ever seen him play. Wow. Very methodical closure from Fnatic though. It's like in the last game. No G2 versus MDK. That's tomorrow, buddy. Just come back tomorrow. Come back in 20 hours and we'll do it.
Fnatic, they definitely seem to be back in form at the very least.
I think decisive stuff from Fnatic.
As a Fnatic fan, I'm absolutely ready to have my heart broken again. The worst thing is just once I would like to know how it feels to listen to SI or other LFN shows and hear people praise Fnatic because they finally won LEC over G2. You can hear that. You just have to go listen to the old episodes. Go back to 2015. I'm quite complimentary of Fnatic when they made semifinals at Worlds. You can go listen. Those episodes exist. Just not now. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow for the Mad Lions versus G2 games. See you then.